Hello, hello, folks. Hello, Bren. Indeed, you are first. Here before we even... Oh, we're still on the preloading screen. Welcome back to day 3 of the LTA South Promotion Tournament. And frankly, I have very high hopes for today because yesterday was kind of wild. If you were here yesterday, Isris, or if you're unaware, Isris, the guest team for the LTA South, had their first appearance in the tournament, and it was very crazy. We ended up going full 5 games, and in game 5 we had like double assassin pick on one side. On the other side we had, you know, like Udyr and Mordekaiser. It got kind of crazy in game 5, and I am here for it. Zamudo also had an absolute standout pop-off game, which is good for him because that series was really tough. Makes is absolutely on a tear right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Makes gets poached by one of the teams for top lane for LTA South next split. Or CB Law, because he'll be back again, CB Law. Today, though, it is going to be A7 versus Isris Gaming, the other CD team. Let me pull up the bracket here, because they didn't pull it up. So yesterday, we were here. Today, we are here. Which is interesting, because they're actually playing the upper bracket before they play the lower bracket. I don't honestly really agree with that, because the finals, the actual qualification match, will be played Wednesday next week. So like this could have been played tomorrow and still give the winning team plenty of time. I guess it makes the losing team have to play back to back, I guess. But to me, it's like you lose. There are, yeah, disadvantages. As it is, ISG, this is actually disadvantage because now we're playing back to back days. I'm actually really curious how this goes because Flamengo taking them up to 5 games is kind of nutty. A7 beat Flamengo in the playoffs rather comprehensively. So on one hand, that feels like there's hope for A7 to actually beat Isris Gaming, which would again be crazy. I don't know if that's Isris kind of just getting themselves together, because to be fair to Isris, Kenny is brand new to this team. That was Kenny's first comp game with Isris Gaming after coming in from Dignitas. So definitely a bit of a tougher match. As the casters are saying as well, it's worth noting today is also not an elimination match. Yesterday was also not an elimination match. Loser from this just falls to round 2 of the lower bracket, and they'll play the winner of Flamengo versus Spartan Ben, which is also a very interesting match. Yeah, but Flamengo just feels like they're a little bit on fire right now. In a good way, not like a dumpster fire, but like they're popping. A7 looked pretty good though against Spartan Ben. Not quite as clean, but yeah. It's just gaming. Kenny, the newest guy, is the most standard picture. Zamudo got it. That's interesting that Zamudo's shot is the only one that's not kind of like an upper body shot. They went all the way down to shorts as well. And there is Isris Gaming shorts, apparently. That's cool. Yeah, this A7 squad, I think Artie Gap's Ari really popped off in the game against Fernben, which is a little bit scary. I think Kenny has shown that he's absolutely a threat, and the mid lane is still where my eyes are kind of drawn to. The other one that's kind of well, okay, every single lane is interesting. Let's start from the top. Chiari versus Zamudo. Makes was on a tear, and he suppressed Zamudo. But Zamudo was still very relevant and pertinent. Chiari is a bit more interesting to me, because I don't feel like he's as big a carry player, but he is still very good at the 1v1s. And yeah, I think that top side is a question of can he hold down Zamudo the same way Makes did it. Jungle, Drake Hero versus Jose Deodo. I think Dizen actually did a fantastic job for a tier 2 player who's never played in tier 1 up against Jose Deodo. He actually was outpacing Jose early on in terms of ganks, but Jose Deodo was just more efficient. Drake Hero is, to me, even more aggressive than Dizen in a way. For better or for worse. Like, if Dizen falls behind, he just plays defensive and scales back up. If Drake Hero falls behind, he just keeps trying to make plays. And against Jose Deodo, that could cause like really fast snowballs to happen in this series. But vice versa, if Drake Hero gets ahead, he tends to just completely, stomp and stay ahead. The one game A7 lost to Farnven, Drake Hero was like Drake Hero and Kiara were the best performing players. Their bots like off the map kind of struggled. Sneaker Ackerman yesterday also had a pop off performance. For Sneaker specifically, I think Ackerman MVP'd it and rightfully so. Guru and LTAS are a strong bot lane though, so like they especially skilled up in that series against Arvin. I would actually argue I think Skuro usually is more lane dominant than Trigo, so we'll see if they can break Sneaker Ackerman. Not terribly hopeful of that. Wukong first pick for Jose Deodo, something that was banned a lot in yesterday's series. We're seeing Orianna and Bessa. Isra seems willing to give over Orianna. I suspect Kenny actually has some sort of counter. I'm curious to see what his counter is. It might just be Akali. But it's a little bit risky to pick right with what we're seeing here. I think there's not enough info to comfortably do that.
Vamos ver se ele vai parear o Wukong com a N, né? Que é meio que combinho padrão que a gente acaba vendo o par do Wukong.
Ah, here's the Corki Prio again. I hate this. I really don't like this.
Lá na parte de baixo, já com uma prioridade interessante para bot lane. Se for pegar ele, tem que pegar agora, né? Senão ela não passa na volta. Mas ele já sabe o matchup, né? Ele já sabe o matchup que vai contra o Orianna.
I wonder if, yeah, I mean, solo lane is a pick. You're picking counters here, right? Annie, to me, is not a counter to Orianna. You're very linear. Like, you have to run at Orianna, and Orianna excels at dealing with linear champions. You have to run at her. Like, a distance would already screw you, pretty much. But you're picking this more just because of the Wukong Annie synergy. It's a really strong team fighting duo, which makes me kind of dislike the Corki even more. This is a lot of burst damage. A lot of burst damage. But it's also very short range. And again, very linear into Orianna.
Ele tem vários picks diferentes, mas Nock não é dos que me está lá na cabeça.
Okay. Xin Zhao is the answer. I do think Xin Zhao is strong. I actually feel like this is probably one of the matchups where Xin Zhao does not truly excel. I mean, what is nice about Xin Zhao is you've got the Crescent Guard, so you can knock back the engage from the Wukong, which is a key part of this comp. But the problem is that all three of them can play inside Xin Zhao Crescent Guard quite comfortably. And their burst is high enough that they could still potentially kill Xin Zhao. I mean, it's not bad. It's fine. Like, this is a really solid comp base already. And then you're just picking your bot lane here. Here you're looking for support and... Oh. GP ban. They're really cautious of that GP. I wonder how much of these GP bans we're seeing against Samudo is just that they don't know how the matchup goes, and so they're not comfortable running it. Because at least on paper, I don't feel like the matchup's that bad for Mbessa into GP. But again, haven't seen him in VOD. I'm not sure his matchups. Samudo wouldn't know them. Jack's ban makes more sense to me. I mean, I'm just thinking you could potentially pick a tank here if you wanted actually and still be fine. You don't need another source of engage. I assume we're probably going to see like either Nico or some sort of engage support. If you want to go tank top, then you go Nico here for more damage. Balance it out. Taking away hyperskillers. They could just go Ezreal if they wanted. Ezreal would be a nice safe AD carry. Ooh. We're seeing... Oh, sorry about that. We're seeing a lot of focus on Xayah in this tournament. She didn't get buffed, did she? Why is everybody focusing her? Double check the patch notes.
Fadinha ou você vai vir com suporte para engage, né? Normalmente é uma listada ali na mão. Eu ia falar exatamente isso. Para mim,
yeah, Xayah didn't get buffed in the last patch. This just feels like teams are adapting, or this is their reaction. I won't say adapt to sort of the wombo combos, the big burst comps that are coming out. But I don't... I mean, it's been working, so it's hard for me to criticize it, but I actually kind of don't like the Xayah adaptations. Okay, Zamudo went with the Yorick split push, of course. Yeah, that works. You've got a lot of wombo combo here. Very, very squishy, though. Comp coming through from Istris. Very punishable. Lunar Xayah is the perfect little of everything champion. Sure, but okay. So first of all, let me... My bad. I accidentally paused it. I actually just meant to screenshot this, but okay, so here's my problem with the Xayah. Sure, I agree she's a little bit of everything, champ. She's not bad, don't get me wrong. But a little bit of everything also means you don't excel in any particular area. The big thing she excels at is dodging one big burst of damage, one big spike. But my concern is that you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 big AoE spikes that can hit you. And it's unlikely all of them land at the attacks. Or it shouldn't, if they're doing it right, land all at the same time. And then Xayah's range is also not terribly long. It's better when you're playing defensively and kiting back. You're kind of fine. So, like I said, it's not a bad pick. I just feel like if you pick an Ezreal here, and especially if you get Ezreal Karma as a bot lane, that would do so much more as a duo than the Xayah Karma. Like, I like the Karma, though. I think the Karma is a good pick. I just think Ezreal would have been a better option here. Ezreal would also give you more safety and be able to dodge out from a lot of that sort of stuff. Especially if you get speed boost from Karma, plus shield. We'll see how it plays out. Like I said, I don't think it's terrible. Compositionally, I really like what Istris have drafted here. This is like hyper super meta right now. Like biggest, one of the best team fight comps. Yorick's into Ambessa is kind of good as well. The split pressure is going to be immense. In team fights, just being a body will already be enough, I think, for this, the way this comp wants to operate anyways. So Yorick actually works really well here. 4 or 4.5, frankly. E7's comp is also pretty good, right? Like Orianna Shinjao is a staple meta as well. Again, I don't like the Xayah, but she works, or she can work. I just don't think she's optimal. And best of a potential dive and split push and just shredding, especially when there's a lot of squishies on the other side. It's solid too. I'll get a 3.5. Very playable for both these comps. I do favor Istris' comp a little bit more. I've come to realize that basically as long as your comp is like 3 or higher, it's playable. The differential is just how hard or easy I think it's going to be to execute for the most part. And if you're above a 4, it usually means like you probably have some really good answers into what the other team wants to do. Ezreal is pulling. No, Ezreal is good, Lunar. The only thing I kind of don't like about Ezreal is, and it's not even like a problem because I think who was it that we saw? Farm Vents AD carry, whose name I forgot right now. Ian Shaka, I think it was. Had the lethal tempo Ezreal. My only kind of issue with Ezreal is I feel like he doesn't stand and deliver quite as well. But that's not strictly true because if he can weave the autos and his mystic shots in perfectly, he can do as much damage, if not more so, than most AD carries actually. It's just that it's rare to see that happen, and so I feel like hyper carries are generally more favored right now. He's not in a good state, Lunar. Actually curious because did they nerf some of his damages, or is like why is he not in a good state? Is his build path bad? I feel like he's kind of similar to Corki's build path, except Corki does high burst, but Ezreal has safer poke. That's kind of how I look at it. I still think he's very vulnerable to Kai'Sa, but lethal is his best build if you have particularly skilled Ezreal. Yeah, I agree with that, friend. I think lethal tempo is the max damage Ezreal build. It's just that you have to be able to weave autos in, and that's where I have problems with Ezreal. Is I feel like his autos put him in dangerous position. Corki is AoE. Okay. True. That is true. Gatling and Phosphorus are AoE. I mean, as well as True Shot Barrage, which is granted an ultimate, so you fire it once, but so it's not quite the same. Oh, sheesh. That's a demolished proc and an empowered auto from Zamudo. He's almost got a plate already. Ezreal can't deal 3 or 4 carry comps. He likes 1 or 2 carry comps. Okay. I see where you're coming from. I guess if there's a tank and 3 carries, or even 4 carries, because you can run Nico, I agree with what you're saying, Leonard, but I guess in my head the thing is that if you're running a comp full of carries, for example, like damage overload compositions with no tank, I feel like Ezreal could actually quite efficiently shred through an overload composition from safety. Unfortunately, we've got to pause fairly early on, which sucks because there's really not much to analyze right now. We've already been through the drafts. It is what it is. Bryn, you saw someone say it on Twitter, should Demolish be a keystone? I think Demolish needs to be nerfed, or it should be a keystone. Like, I understand why they made Demolish, it was to allow tanks to push, but I think right now, Demolish just does too much damage. It's just too easy for tanks to kind of stay in range for, was it 5 seconds? 6 seconds? However long it takes for Demolish to get ready, and then just walk in, hit the turret once, and walk out. And because they're tanks, it's actually really hard to force them off. I guess you could argue it's like reward for them actually being able to shove as a tank, but with the Sunfire cape items, it's not that difficult for tanks to shove right now. Lower levels, yes. Higher elo becomes harder. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah, because I guess if they got damage, they can kind of try and kill the Ezreal. There's a lot of bursts to come through. I'm actually curious what Ezreal's win rate in Pro is right now. Damn, his win rate's actually pretty balanced. 51.2% across major regions. Oh. I wonder LCK and LPL if he has a higher win rate. Yeah, LCK's got 59.1%. Because okay, so here's my thinking right now. I agree with what you said, Lunar, by the way. I do think it becomes harder in a higher elo. But I also feel like really good Ezreals, like Ezreal's a champ that looks like low-key kind of like Kai'Sa, where if you're really good at her, you look absolutely stunning. Like you can do things, very high skill ceiling. Oh, the LPL is struggling. 35.7% win rate with Ezreal in LPL. That's surprising. The LCK's higher win rate, like 59%, was more what I was expecting. Yeah. I mean, should I even bother checking the LTA? 72%. Who the? Is it one guy who's just playing this? Okay. So it's mostly B-Boy. Some Masu, some Yon. Okay, so it's a higher skill expression AD, more skilled AD carries that are playing in LTA North. That's why it's so high. Okay. That's fair. Well, at least unfortunate. Ezreal here would have, I think, made this game in a way more skill expressive. But Zai is the safer comp. I think A7's composition is actually pretty. The skill floor is pretty high with this composition. It's a very simple to execute comp. Oh, RD Gap is dead. Just like that. What a way to come back into this game. Unpause right into a kill. Well, that reminds me. Let's swap the teams at the bottom. I mean, that's why you pick any Wukong, right? Very, very consistent poke. RD Gap just needs to be a bit more careful how he's taking trades. RD Cap's Orianna's not bad either. It's not like his Karma, where it felt like he just was unfamiliar with the champion. Meus amigos, daqui a pouco a gente recupera ali no replay direitinho para ver como que foi essa jogada. Oof, Zamudo's trying to take over already. O comandante já colocou aí pra gente. O Shinzal tava por perto, o Random Gap até. Like I feel like as the Orianna, you kind of need to shield the consistent poke damage. Mas aí é stun, flash, entrada e aquele burst que a gente tinha conversado, né? That auto. Saído não deu nem tempo do Drake Hero chegar, pô. Ele tava muito machucado também, né? Tem o Drake Hero chegando. Oh, Zamudo has flash. He chose not to use it. Unfortunate.
Começo de jogo aqui com os dois caçadores sendo bem presentes nas rotas, né? A gente acabou de ver esse abate que saiu em cima do Random Gap. Por outro lado, o Drake Hero consegue responder, castigando também o Zamudo. E algo que é bem interessante.
That's actually really good for Kiari. I think he actually really needed that help. He was just getting shoved in constantly and being denied like a crap ton of CS. Oh. Wait, Zamudo TP'd back into this, into a 1v2. That is surprising. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know what's going on with Zamudo right now. A series of very interesting plays. He was already dominating the 1v1. They saw Skuro and LTAS in the top side. He still TPs back in and just kind of just walks up to that, which, okay, that was a choice. The flash as well. He flashes, thinks he's going to die anyway, so actually walks back into Skuro, which gives Skuro the easy access kill. I actually don't know if Skuro had blade call up at that point. He could have, but that's hella weird. And then now they're swapping back to these matchups. That's super weird. Okay. Oh man, this is not the Zamudo I remember from the north. He was really good at the 1v1s. Okay, that's... I mean, Zamudo playing into Chiari should be quite fine, actually. And then Zaya doesn't make great immediate use of that gold either, so it's okay. It just accelerates A7.
Porque eles identificaram que ele era uma peça muito importante pro time da Alpha 7. E eu acho que para esse primeiro jogo a Izuru chega com o mesmo pensamento.
Jose Deodo is 6 as well. He already had that one really efficient gank in the mid lane where he didn't lose any tempo. That was super free. Now he's 6. The Wukong is a much bigger menace. Also, I didn't notice the first drag got taken, but it looks like it got taken pretty much close to spawn. Maybe 30 seconds. Kind of matters, because now they can just focus on top side for both teams. For Grubs. Man. Karma with bruisers just feels so disgusting. In a great way. This is why Karma mid with like Xinjiao used to be a really deadly combo. You can see the pressure that Drake Hero gets. He just runs at you with the speed boost. And you blow like a bunch of mobility spells to get away. Already gap. Okay. Jose Deodo burning the ult on the single kill to get a numbers advantage for the Grubs. That's interesting. Is Ackerman dead? Wait, he actually might have baited all base 7 in though. That's kind of worth it for Ackerman. If they can kill. If they can kill. Okay, they can kill. They can definitely kill. Oh my goodness. Hey yo, okay. Chiari just TP'd? I don't think Chiari can clean house though. He doesn't know! He just ignored that. He's got a kill in his eyes. Does Kenny have stun? Oh, Kenny does not have stun. Kenny's out of mana. This is dangerous. He's trying to buy space for Jose Deodo, but Jose Deodo no flash. Okay. Bro, if Kenny had mana, Chiari's dead. Damn, well played from Kenny, from Chiari. Really well played. Okay. Wow, very, very back and forth. A7 actually kind of coming out the winner on that trade, I'd say. They got more of the Grubs, and this just kind of already got the kill mid, so considering that they're starting a man down, it was pretty well played from A7. They don't lose too much on bot side either. Bren, Brazil better than NA confirms. Zamudo showing the 1v1 our tier 2 players. That's such bait when Chiari and Makes are actually tier 1 level top laners. Also, I do think, like I said, this is not characteristic of Zamudo. He screwed up his lane. And he was winning the 1v1 at least. Though he is Yorick, so not the fairest. Yeah, Ackerman managed to bait A7 to hard committing for this. So I guess... No, I thought A7 got an extra kill, but they didn't kill a single person. They only got Ackerman. So it's a 2 for 3 at the end of the day. Plus, yeah, okay. Plus the Grubs.
da onde tá esse posicionamento.
I don't hate that.
De entender que o Random Gap tava sem aquele flash pra fazer aquela cobrança, mas eu tô contigo.
Both teams are gonna be okay with that.
Do ouro tá tendendo um pouco mais pra Isurus e muito empate por conta dos minions que o Yorick tá conseguindo farmar. Alpha 7 já tem abate, tem esse
Tensions building. I mean, we still haven't really seen like a team fight.
do escuro. Proeza de guerrilha ficou pra eles também e duas lá.
But I do like the call from Jose to just burn the ult on the mid lane first to get the numbers advantage, to take RD gap out. It feels bad because it's such a strong AoE ult, but okay. Yeah, that's my problem with Zaya right there. There's just too much AoE CC that shouldn't get all blown at the same time. So yeah, Screw's having to blow a lot. I mean, it's a 1-for-1, so it's not terrible. 80 carries traded.
Tem mais briga, porém é uma briga contra um clone, então não vai ter eliminação, né? Não tem tanta emoção assim. Mas assim, o que preocupa olhando, calma aí que o José Deodo chegou, tem uma vantagem numérica e Surus aqui.
Vai continuar a briga aqui, Colossus. O dragão tá vivo, né?
Jose is just trying to stop them from doing it.
Tá com a vida bem detonada, 3 contra 3.
Kenny, no flash, no ult. This is kind of scary for Isurus. I don't know how I feel about this. Zamudo has TP though, but there's no great TP position. Okay, yeah. They're just gonna force them out, I guess, with this. Yeah. Let's try from May7, but clean from Isurus. When I said there's no great TP position, I was thinking more flanking from Zamudo, but he just TPs to secure a dragon. That's fine. It's gonna cost them, but...
Muito boa movimentação do Zamudo para impedir a contestação da Alpha 7.
Is that 2 plates that Kiari got? Or 1 plate? 2 plates, yeah, down to 3. Damn, A7 really maximizing. Does Streak Hero screw up? Yeah, he does. And now Screw is just tanking turret for days. Okay. This is what I mean though about Drake Hero. Unlike Dizen, this guy is just all gas no brakes. I personally enjoy watching junglers who are all gas no brakes, but it does make games kind of iffy and snowbally when things start going poorly for them. For now, the game's still really, really close, so it's fine for Drake Hero to do stuff like that. It cost them a little bit there, but they got enough plates that it's kind of just nullified. Except for Ivern. When he plays Ivern, he's chill. I guess you don't have a choice with Ivern.
Pegar aqueles abates, né? Estão 2 atrás, o ouro tá passando um pouquinho de 1k. Eu não acho que o jogo tá ruim ainda não pro time da Alpha 7, eles conseguem.
Again, how am I a hater? I've not said anything bad about A7 here. I literally just said I like the way Drake Hero plays. He's like a more refined, crazy guy, Randall. Randall's style got really, really passive this split, actually. Like, arguably smarter, but that's interesting to watch for Randall.
Está atrás no farm, ele meio que essa a resposta para isso, né? Quem vai carregar o time um pouco mais para frente é essa Ambessa que tá ficando muito forte. Tá crescendo legal, tá tendo bastante espaço para farmar e para pegar recursos.
We are fighting over Scuttle. Are we gonna full send it over this? No, okay. I was not gonna throw for that.
E na parte de cima já vai ter um arauto, é 1 minutinho. Talvez tenha briga antes.
O lance é que a Isurus tem 3 forças da Trindade pronta nesse ponto do jogo, né? E isso é um pico de poder muito grande. Eles vêm pra essa briga por aqui. Alpha 7 parece que vai cobrar.
This is interesting.
Esse confronto.
Oh, did Telas get caught?
O Tela já vai sendo detonado. Tem que usar o flash ainda se o Ackerman.
If they can burn Featherstorm, this could be huge. Yep, they burn Featherstorm. Okay. A7 can't contest for Herald in 30 seconds.
Porque você tava falando dos itens e do impacto deles, Gruntar.
That actually reminds me of a lot of what we saw from Isurus against Flamengo in Game 2 yesterday. Or Game 1 and Game 2. Where Isurus just kind of walks up to an objective, and then it was just about efficiency. Like, A7's jockeying for position, but they're taking a lot of time. Isurus just let them take the position. They get the CS in the lanes, and then they just move in, and then very quickly find the critical picks, or the critical summoners, and then, yeah. They just right back to lane again. And now Herald spawns to just go right to it. They don't lose out anything by doing that. The cost is so low. Oh? Oh, they saw Drake Hero bot. Okay. Yo, Drake Hero could die here.
contra o Zanudo, o ultimate do Chiari não pegou, e aí complicou o Drake Hero, ficou sem vida, vendido por dentro da selva. Chiari usa um...
Wow, Chiari has to burn flash to get... And Chiari burning flash is to get Drake Hero out. This unrelenting aggression is actually backfiring a little bit.
Perde
A
aquele
lot.
objetivo na parte de cima, Alpha 7, o Rodeodo tá fazendo miséria nesse jogo, tá rodando bastante. Foi pra que isso?
Yo, what the hell, Screw? Okay, that is egregious from Skuro. Like, your flash is still down, your feather storm is still down. Why are you walking to the Wukong? Were we just not tracking alt timers? Like, what?
Foram duas torres, tá? Porque o Zamudo chegou na torre aqui na parte de baixo e do
That's 2 turrets in rapid
nada, o
succession.
de ouro que tava ali em 500,
The game was actually pretty close up to
600,
this point.
Foi pra 3k
Okay.
e 900 aí. Vantagem
That's really
colossal
unfortunate for
que a
A7.
Isurus emplacou nesse
And they went with the
momento.
Rod of Ages build for Oriana, so they just wanted to kind of hold till second item
Meio que naquela
spikes
narrativa que a gente falou no começo.
before they come online.
Ontem, a briga é isso. Dos 15 aos
They're doing
21
such a good job holding
alguém
Isurus there too,
brigava
slowing the
melhor,
game
saía
down.
na frente e controlava o jogo até o final. 3k e meio é pra controlar esse jogo até o fim, Isurus.
A gente tá até vendo o ouro total aí na tela, né? Snaker, Kane e José Deodo. E eu acho que é muito essa história que a gente comentou sobre as escolhas de
The
draft
one
que a
minion
Isurus
showing
fez pra esse
Kane.
jogo. Colocar a força nesses três grandes carregadores, que acabam sendo três grandes carregadores, mesmo sendo o José Deodo ali no meio, porque assim eles liberam a
And I just feel like perhaps Drake should have camped the Skuro lane a bit, or the LTAS lane, really, realistically. Because the Xinjiao Karma combo was really, really good.
Ele só tava ali porque ele tinha
Instead, he kept going for the
Chiari
Chiari lane, which is a little bit tough because that is a Yorick.
O que também fez com que a Alpha 7 fosse afastada desse peixe do dragão. Mas
Okay.
fora isso, todos
They still
abates,
didn't get
todas
their
as
first cloud,
vantagens que
their
o
first
time
straight,
da Isurus tá
which is cloud.
conseguindo é por puro brilhantismo
Yeah, it's
do
just
José
trying to
Deodo.
snowball their
Tá
gold leads
aparecendo
even
nas rotas,
further.
conseguiu colocar 2 abates
They already
na
got first
conta
two Drakes,
dele,
that's fine.
ele também já tá 2/0/7,
I don't think
então
Soul
não
is
era
that big a
muito
win
aquilo
con
que
for
a
them
gente
necessarily.
contou, né? Esse
How's
caos
it
que
you?
fica aí da Isurus sendo Yorick
Behind
é
enemy
muito
lines
forte.
too. That's wild, and they shipped off almost half health from that mid turret. Just because Jose Deodo walked up. This is so good from Isurus.
Mais briga.
Meu
Deus.
Oh, Chiari lives. Very nice. Zamudo was looking to try and get like the minions tagging, but okay, Shockwave Lance, it doesn't matter. Oh, the return. Isurus are playing this really well.
Que entrada excepcional do Ackerman pela lateral. Achou 3 jogadores.
I'm sure they'll show a replay, but this entire sequence of events, they won't show it in the replay, but the way they just kind of like outpace A7, they go from like mid into top that smoothly. They were just always ahead of A7. I do actually want to see on the replay how like did Chiari just go dashing in, or yeah, because it wasn't TP. He was really aggressively positioned. Oh, he public execution from back there. Okay. I was a little bit curious how he ended up so far ahead of his team. Because yeah, that I think hurt A7 quite a bit. Like he saw the angle, but
E aí é o momento em que o TELAS não, desculpa, o Random Gap chega,
Yeah.
ele usa a onda de choque,
Ackerman.
é a deixa.
MVP
do
from
Ackerman
yesterday's
pela
series.
lateral. Ele pega 2 jogadores somente, mas
That
acaba
looks so
assumindo
good.
o ultimate do escuro na jogada também.
It's only 1 kill, but still. Considering his brute force like half on the turret.
É uma vantagem colossal. O mapa da Alpha 7 está completamente detonado, né? Aquele topo foi mais para evitar o sangramento dessa última luta do que realmente fazer um confronto que fosse interessante. O Zanudo vem só na pasada.
Oh, okay.
Random Gap tá aqui, o problema é que o Chiari
Zamudo dies to turret.
mano, ele vai levar
He denies the
o
assist, at
adversário,
least.
mas a moral fica
That's not
toda
bad.
com o Zamudo.
And that was the TP from RD Gap for the flank, so that gives like a ton of pressure to Isurus topside.
Pegou a onda de Minos, e aí tá tudo bem, mas pô, se não
Jose Deodo and Ackerman are just keeping TELAS and Drake Hero away.
situação, né? Se a side lane já não tá legal e agora o TELAS
Oh,
Teve que usar o flash pra poder sair,
Okay.
o Kenny tá fechando.
not gonna lie, I prefer the Karma Xinjiao in the 2v2, but
Jogadores. Kenny vê,
damn.
derreteu o Telas. Vem que
Okay.
sobrou e o time da Isurus começa a passar o carreto.
Oh, Skuro.
Sai esse abate
You know what? Snaker was pulling those flash plays yesterday. Skuro giving him a taste of his own medicine. Doesn't matter though. He still does. It's just too far ahead for A7 to be going for these sort of equal number fights. Top lane chart's still alive. Kenny couldn't take it. He has to rotate down to help fight. Lunar, have I seen the minion figures in the World Box? Yes, I actually have. I wasn't gonna buy a World Box, but because they have the minion stuff, I will probably buy it. I don't think they sell those separate. They didn't for the other box that I bought, like 2023. So I will probably be getting a World Box, unfortunately. Yo, Orbital. Oh yeah, appreciate you. Welcome on in. Good cast yesterday, by the way. I rated in 3 people. TCG cast sounds complicated, but you all made it work. Okay. I think I it's just bait A7 at the Octagon. A7 will probably full send it at this point. Octagon's probably the big turning point for A7. I worry. I don't think their comp can really turn around anytime soon. And if Octagon goes over the way of Isrus, Baron's gonna come up and they're still not gonna be quite at there, or they'll be just barely at the power spike at the time. But they'll be so far behind it won't matter anyways. Renny also getting the World's Box? Hell yeah. I don't care about the digital stuff. I just want the physical stuff. I wish there's like, you could just buy the physical stuff without the digital. I'm not going to use the World's Pass. Okay. Ooh, Drake Hero got close. Damn, Ackerman. Damn, okay. We see you. They're just running them over. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I do think A7 just needed to go for the Octagon, because if not, the game just swings too heavily in Isrus' favor anyways. But the way they approached it was like not very ideal. They've not been able to gain control over the area, and they're kind of slow to get there. Like, it has to be Drake Hero trying to get in there, but they just need to like kind of blitz it a little bit. They're going for the 50-50 flip and not for the team fight, but I do think they actually need to go for team fight. And Drake Hero gets like kind of close. I mean, it was really good. Yeah, he actually he actually got the smite off, which is not ideal, but yeah. I think they just need to full send it rather than trying to hold back and just go for the smite steal. Even if you smite steal, you lose too much of your base after that for Drake Hero's death, because Drake Hero's not coming back out. Xin Zhao has no escapes. He's in, he's dead. Okay. The base is going to be in shambles. They probably... Can they break an inhib? No, they can't take an inhib turret. Lunar, you want the scuttle? Brenny also want the scuttle? The scuttle is cute. Like, I think generally the world's... this world's walks... Again, the physical stuff is kind of cool. The digital stuff I don't care that much about, unfortunately. But that's a me problem, I guess. The money. Hello, Spoods! 2 days in a row. Nice. Vamos, Shark. Shark is doing well. I think yesterday was a bit cold feet from... or not cold feet, cold hands from Isrus. But today they're looking much better. Yeah, that was just a chase down, a wrecking. We're right back into a fight. Oh, Ackerman. Ackerman MVPs this game 1, man. Like, Jose Deodo higher KP, but Ackerman's money with these Pop Blossoms. Just playing with their food now. It's funny how they're getting low chasing, but they're not actually in any risk of dying. They also are not pushing. TP from Kenny's kind of late.
comentou sobre como eles não precisam do Yorick pra conseguir fazer, garantir um bom espaço, né? O Ackerman fez a entrada, levantou 3, no que ele levantou ele já tirou mais da metade da vida de 2 e com 1 ele matou.
Okay.
Ele morre, mas a
That's
sequência
fair.
dele
They just
também
reset it for the Baron.
complementa aí
And then they're
toda
gonna push
essa
in with
composição
this.
que eles montaram. E isso funciona muito bem, né? Vocês comentaram muito
Yeah,
sobre
I don't
isso
think this is
lá,
realistically
na
defensible
hora que a gente teve aquele
for
bloco,
A7 at this point.
a posição da Isurus
Yeah,
é
we
mais
already Gap
fácil de
just hit the
executada,
power spike
porque
where
quando
he's
você
got
coloca
Horizon
a
Focus
então,
plus.
é só vir a entrada da
Wait,
Nate,
Horizon
enquanto o
Focus?
Cork fica batendo de
Yeah,
todo lado
Horizon
de
Focus.
trás.
I always get that and Cosmic Drive confused in my head. He's got Horizon Focus and Rod of Ages fully stacked at this point. This is when already Gap finally comes online, but it just feels like it's too late. And we saw in that last fight as well. Unless they can find Kenny and Snaker both, and arguably even Ackerman, all three in the same shockwave, it's probably not winnable for A7. I mean, you could find them when they're trying to funnel through the inhibitor turret, but just kind of rough.
Ficou muito difícil, muito rápido da partida, né? Então,
Sim.
complicou demais.
É aquela parada que a gente tava falando sobre...
Low key, Zamudo could have picked
Isurus
absolutely anything this
se
game,
manter à
and they would
frente.
win anyways.
Deixou Isurus passar à frente.
The Yorick
Eles
is not the
passaram
focus.
ali nos 15, 20 minutos. É difícil de trazer de volta. Tem o engage.
Olha o engage!
Damn.
Simplesmente desaparece. Zadeodo faz mais um engage instantâneo pra cima do cara.
Artie Gap didn't even get to use Shockwave.
O Kong não para. A torre caiu, o inibidor vai vir na sequência.
I don't know, I just kind of feel like Artie Gap's not respecting the burst damage that can come out. Like multiple times this game, I feel like he's just been up, you know? Like Kenny's so far ahead at this point that, yeah.
Mais um inibidor e agora que vai chegar o Zamudo nesse cerco. Agora que a equipe da Isurus
4.1K.
vem por a extrema unção dessa partida.
GG Isurus, this is clean. Like yesterday was funny, yesterday was scrappy, today was clean. Sneaker with the chin. Chef's kiss. Indeed, chef's kiss. Yeah, Isurus just kind of outpaced and then just ground them down. Partially, I think that was a bit of a comp problem for A7 a little bit. Or not a comp problem. Like the comp is fine, but just the Rod of Ages Orianna when they were already behind feels super bad. It's not really a pick thing, and I don't even blame Artie Gap for the way he built the Orianna, because when he started building the Catalyst, they were like competitive. But yeah, just like one fight goes bad, and then Isurus just kept snowballing. This is why the Wukong Annie combo is so deadly. The Nico just really makes it pop extra, but they could have picked any engage and that would have been fine. Remember A7 dropped game 1 versus our Essence. That is true, Lunar. That is true. Like I'm not saying A7's out of it by any means. In fact, I actually think this game, again, I think this game felt particularly bad because Isurus got the Wukong Annie combo plus any sort of support that AoEs basically. Like if this had been Nautilus, Leona, Rakan, all of it would have been really good as well. Then Snaker gets free fire with the Corki. A7, like it's a nice standard composition, but between Wukong Annie and Ori Shinjao, I would rather Wukong Annie. And you can see for Drake Hero too, the Shinjao Crescent Guard was just not that useful against this comp. Yeah, Ezreal would not have changed things. This Xayah was fine. Like no matter what AD carry put here, it would have died. It's just not very... There's not really much an AD carry can do. You know what? Maybe if you played Draven. Draven could have changed things.
As coisas não necessariamente funcionam porque ele é cara muito agressivo e se ele não tem esse follow up.
If they had Draven, maybe he could have crushed the lane and they had like a better lane to play through.
O Drake Hero não tinha essa resposta. Então,
this is a lot like the game against Farenven though, because Artie Gap also struggled in that game 1. And then Artie Gap scaled up and capped that off with a game 4 Ari that was MVP worthy. So yeah. We'll see how they bounce back in game 2. To be fair in this tournament, I do feel like quite a few teams have bounced back really well from their losses. Yesterday Flamengo did it too. Or sorry, it's just... No, Flamengo did it too. They almost pulled off the reverse sweep. Heck, even Isurus came back for some dicey mid-series games.
Não fez absolutamente nada na partida. Assim, nem pesar nele, né? Porque eu sinto que quem criou essa situação foi o Zadeodo, foi ele que
Mas eu acho que essa
desmantelou
escolha,
essa Orianna.
eu acho que essa escolha de Orianna prendeu ele muito.
Com
sim.
certeza.
Não
com
é
certeza.
que nem outros, por exemplo, no jogo da quarta, né, quando ele trouxe aquela Thalia.
If anything,
depois
just
também
sorry, I'm just looking at
os
these replays thinking.
campeões que ele foi
If anything, I
trazendo,
actually kind of blame
auxiliava o
Screw
Alpha 7 a criar
a
jogadas.
little bit for
Eu
how
sinto que se ele
kind
não
of things
consegue
went.
esse espaço
Screw and
pra
already
criar
gapped the
jogadas,
carries,
ele fica muito
which is
travado,
not
sabe?
really okay. If your carries are the ones screwing up, then you don't have good ways to come back.
Claro, é meio que um efeito bola de neve.
Gary did
Inicialmente,
okay.
teve aqueles dois
Breaker
grandes
did
lançadores
okay.
em cima dele,
I thought
aí
Telas did.
não conseguiu crescer, fez
Well,
aquele, bastão da
Telas
Telas,
generally did okay. He
então
did have that
teve
one
que
screw up in
movimentar
the
mais pra essa Orianna
topside
entrar
river,
lá
but it
na
wasn't the
parte,
end of the world.
crescer. E aí,
This is what I mean by
agora,
like I kind of blame Screw a little bit. Like right there, why are you stepping up, bro? And already gap too, like just not respecting what can come out. Because that Herald play was what gave the 3k advantage to Isrus, right? That was the start of it.
Eu não acho
So.
que esse draft aí deles era muito ruim, não.
Yeah.
Eu sinto
Things got
que
kind of bad after that.
Foi melhor jogado pelas Urus e por isso eles tiveram essa vantagem toda. Então a Alpha 7 tem que tomar cuidado, tem que ter outro ritmo de jogo.
Like that one, I don't blame Telas. You're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place when you chase
É um
initially.
draft bom quando a gente fala de campeões que estão aqui, mas não é um draft bom pra Alpha 7. Não gosto do
I don't
escudo
know.
nessa
I don't feel like
posição,
flashing.
onde ele
Eh.
tem que tá muito protegido
I guess
do
you got
todo
bounty,
e
but
acaba tendo que ficar muito
one for one
recuado.
trade,
A
kind of not
Zaya não é
worth.
uma campeã que
And then you
vinha
had to burn your
dando
flash, so you didn't have it for the next
igual o
fight.
Ward, por exemplo, que só dela ficar batendo, ela consegue entrar esse dano, ela precisa crescer. Achei que essa escolha de karma pro Telas,
I'd MVP
ele
Ackerman this game, but I'm gonna be
precisa
honest.
de um
I don't think
campeão
Ackerman was necessarily the most
precisa
influential
de um
guy. I just think he had the
campeão
most like
que
flashy
veja.
moments.
Se não é um campeão que ele
Jose
veja, eu
Deodo,
acho que a Alpha 7
probably,
ela é um
or
time que isso
Kenny.
foi o que o
This
Colosso
mid jungle
trouxe pra
duo.
discussão na quarta-feira.
Arguably,
Eles
probably
têm que
actually
ter
had the highest
sinergia.
impact in
E
this
por que
game.
eles têm que ter sinergia? Porque é cada hora um criando, encaixando
né?
uma deixa pra jogada começar. Seja o Random Gap puxando com uma Thalia, seja o Telas encaixando o âncora com o Nautilus,
Well,
seja,
game one
enfim,
of
o
full
Drake
of
conseguindo
Fearless
jogadas com
best
o
of 5
Diego, quer
doesn't
que
really
seja.
tell us anything.
Mas eu
That's what
acho
I've learned
que
from
aqui,
watching Red.
apesar do draft ser muito bom,
Red
eu vou até
Canids.
dar uma olhadinha nele de
Talker's
novo
drafting is
nessa
just like
partida
game one
agora.
doesn't matter.
Eu acho que eles
Give all
não
the
tinham
OPs
escolhas
over.
de
We can win
como
good. If we can't,
fazer
no biggie.
criar essas
We
jogadas,
ain't crying.
Sabe qual é o meu take
Hot take, vai.
This is rare.
papo aí?
Very, very balanced damage coming through.
Legal, o
Everybody's
Alpha
pulling their
7
weight on
com um
Isrus.
match ruim.
Heck, even
Pode sair tudo
Ackerman.
Pra mim, o papo
Double
é
the
esse.
Karma's damage. That's actually pretty rare.
O
Karma
Rock
pumps out a
tem
lot of
o
damage because she
Yene,
pokes.
Você tem uma
supports.
sinergia maior num time. E assim, não é só que, pô, passou o Kong pro cara. Passou o Kong pro cara que é bom pra caramba de um Kong, pô.
Não, esse
Pro cara que, ao longo desse ano inteiro,
Yeah,
na
very
LTA,
consistent.
quando passava o Kong
Going
pra
game
ele,
2
ele
for
falava assim, pô,
A7.
azedou, o
I
cara
think they
tá com
can-
Kong, tem jogo.
They can
Aí,
stay
então,
red side if they
também
want
a
actually for game
diferença
2.
de ouro, né, que
And
foi
then maybe look for
totalmente
counter pick for
dominado
Chiari.
pelo time da Isurus. Mas, galera,
Or potentially
é
Artie
só
Gap.
o
Again, Artie
primeiro
Gap
jogo dessa
started a bad
série que
series
vai
against
aí
Farm Ben as well,
classificação
but then
na grande
he
final
scaled up,
do Sai Daí
so.
que a gente volta já já.
I think, yeah, red side's probably quite beneficial for both these teams right now. Which makes it interesting, because I think Isrus actually had the side select for game 1. If it's by seeding. And they opted for blue. But they got Thanos dropped, I guess, so that's worth. That reminds me. Okay, we're talking about the Worlds box. So for all of y'all who don't know, the info came out. Okay, not. I don't know what I was thinking. Just not putting League of Legends there. Here's the what's in the Worlds box. There's wind up minion figures, the Scuttle plush. So this is what I want. This is what Lunar and Bren want. There's also the gaming mouse, a multi-tool and lanyard. I'm not sure what a multi-tool exactly is. Mousepad, pin set. And this pisses me off. China gets LPL trading cards. I want trading cards. I want shiny cardboard. But we don't get that everywhere else. Rip. And the digital items, like, I don't really play that much League anymore. I just mostly watch it. So Worlds Event Pass kind of sucks for me. The Shinjo skin's fine. It's whatever. Unvaulted Pass World Skin Capsule could be interesting. Twilight Shinjo skin chroma? Okay. The emotes are whatevs, I guess. Yeah. I didn't really like the shirt designs that they had. I feel like just putting worlds that big, if these are the, like, I'm assuming these shirts are for sale. Feels a bit much for me. I prefer the smaller logos for the most part. This is the other thing I'm probably gonna buy, the Riftbound Worlds bundle. I don't know how much it is, but I bought the Arcane bundle too. I am deep in the Riftbound thing. So here's what they kind of look at the items. Let me see if I can blow it up a bit. The wind-up toys. What I kind of really like is the worlds. They're basically holding world spins. That actually looks like the world pins that they sell every year. Scuttle's kind of cute. I'll give it that. I like the blue and white colors. The color scheme as well. Blue and white. Oh, I don't know if y'all and how many people in chat are do y'all know Monster Rancher? There's a monster in Monster Rancher called Tiger. It's called Tiger, but it's a wolf with horns. And the color scheme is also this white and blue. So this Scuttle actually reminds me a lot of Monster Rancher's Tiger. Oh, the other thing that's kind of cool about this is the box itself is like a Nexus thing. I don't know if they say that. Yeah, replica of the Nexus. So that's kind of cool, actually. I know it's, yeah. I like minion theme stuff. I mean, that's why I'm the random minion caster. So, yeah. This multi-tool thing, I'm gonna be honest, it looks kind of lame. Like, I get what it's supposed to be, but it still looks kind of lame to me. I want a trading card. If y'all get the mouse, would you actually use the mouse, or do you just keep it as a collectible? I'm actually really curious. Because I feel like when it comes to tech, if you don't use it, it becomes unusable, or it kind of falls out of... Yeah. But then at the same time, like, as a collector's, this doesn't feel like that good as a collector's item, you know? I don't know. Oh, okay. It's not just the World 2025 pin. You might give it, like, to someone as a gift? The mouse?
Estamos de volta aí e de novo para vocês aí essa skin belíssima do Shinzal pro Mundial 2025 e uma parte aí do lucro das vendas será revertida pro ecossistema como um todo. Então, apoie a sua equipe que estará jogando no Mundial 2025. Viva o Cade Styles estará lá, mas não vamos começar a falar sobre isso, não, só vou ficar hypada.
Hello, Liz. This time you really am too late. What you missed? You haven't missed much. It was just game 1 that you missed. Best of 5, so you guarantee at least 2 more games. Isrus did a great game 1. Very comprehensive game 1 from Isrus Gaming. They showed really just methodical, solid gameplay coming through and beat out A7. A7, maybe a little bit of nerves, maybe a little bit, just a couple of mistakes from A7 that Isrus really capitalized very, very well on. So. Like yesterday, I don't know. No, yesterday was... I thought yesterday was more one-sided in a way. Like when Isrus popped, they really popped, and then when A7 popped, they really popped. Like it was. Yesterday wasn't that clean actually. Like there were moments where teams could still get back into the game. It was just that they were getting hands checked. Whereas game 1 just felt like there was no real way for A7 to get in. They were just kind of praying for us just to make mistakes around major objectives. Yep. Okay, so you're gonna get somebody else. Okay, that's fair. I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to break up the set, but I also don't see myself using that particular world's mouse. Maybe I will. I don't know. I have weird preferences in mice. I actually like heavier mice. So. Yeah. Okay, it is Isrus on red side. So A7 opted for blue side after game 1. Interesting. What is their first pick that they want to prioritize? They might just go for like Renekton first pick, I guess. Chiari did that before, where he felt like Renekton was really the way to go. Japan Aurora, okay. Yeah, is Aurora back in meta? I don't get the Corki and Aurora suddenly being back in meta. Nothing's changed.
Bem interessante esses banimentos que a gente já vê aqui, porque do lado da Alpha 7 foi foco total no Kane.
Yeah, Yunara first pick. That's bold. I feel like teams... Okay, I feel like Yunara after her nerfs is only like A tier and kind of lower A tier too.
o escuro tá sendo um grande destaque do time da Alpha
Yeah.
7, né?
Sim.
Sinto que mesmo nessa partida agora...
Like, I think
tá
Sivir's
muito
better. I
bem
think Jinx is
jogado,
better right now.
fez um bom dia, bom
Blind picking Jinx
trabalho,
is probably a bad
e
idea, so
foi
I like the
aí
Sivir
porque
instead.
consegue
And then
voltar
Zamuda's
do
stealing
outro
with
lado,
Renekton.
ter
I
essa
really like that,
resposta
actually.
de Renekton e
Resposta
Sivir.
forte. Resposta muito
really like this from
forte
Mistress.
com essa Sivir e com esse Renekton. Até
Red
porque a
side,
Sivir é uma das
responsive
principais
draft.
campeãs do Snack,
And
ele
you,
gosta muito de
that's why I
trabalhar
thought
com
you'd
ela.
actually
E
first pick the
ele
Renekton. I
que é
don't
um
feel like
cara que
Yunara
gosta
is
mais
worth
desse
first
jogo, que
picking
fica
for
farmando,
A7.
farmando, cresce, só vai aparecer na hora
Like,
das
were you afraid
batalhas.
Snaker
Então,
was gonna
ela
steal her
sabe
away?
perfeitamente a forma dele jogar. E essa escolha de Renekton também é uma potência muito grande que
Okay,
funciona
now Renekton
bem
handshake.
nesse momento do jogo em que a gente tá, né? Ele é um
Then,
campeão que tá muito
oh,
forte.
I was gonna say
E
Talia,
também,
but
de
Talia already got
novo,
banned by
tira
A7.
um dos principais campeões aí do leque de escolhas que o
Chiari,
Chiari
This is just
tem.
so
E ele
weird.
responde com esse Nar, que também é um campeão que ele gosta bastante, tá? E aí na escolha Renekton e Nar, o Nar acaba sendo... a gente
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like,
gosta
your
pra
blue
esse
side,
matchup
this
muito
Yunara
clássico
pick,
aí desses
you
dois
could have opened
campeões.
any one of these three
prefere
and
uma
just picked it
coisa,
first
né? Cada
yourself.
prefere lado dessa
Olha
matchup.
só.
O Alistar sendo selecionado por parte da Alpha 7.
I mean,
gosta
Kaney had an
muito do
insane
Alistar,
Talia performance
porque
yesterday, so maybe that's why they're scared of giving that over, but you could have first picked it. Already gaps Talia's fine too. Oh, wait, let's change. This is game 2. A7.
Só que
Ah,
veio
achei game
Alistar de um lado, vai vir o Silas do outro. Já tem o ultimate do Nossa, velho, já tem
Damn, we
coisas
blinding our mid lane.
interessantes
Silas
pra
too.
Silas brincar, viu?
Eles
I mean, there's some good
enfrentaram
ults to
o
pick
Silas
up,
na
so.
quarta-feira e venceram, né?
Okay.
Sim.
Então, tudo bem,
Okay.
acho que não é uma grande preocupação, mas eu acho que mais do que
Kenny with
tirar
the
esse Alistar
Silas
da mão do
blind.
Snacker
Let's
é
go.
colocar o Telas nessa posição de conforto,
This is such an
de
interesting
support
draft.
engage, que é onde ele brilha, né? Com Hel, Leona, Alistar,
A lot of
Náutico
things that I
também,
would not
são
have
campeões que ele
guessed.
gosta, é o estilo de jogo que ele gosta de trazer.
R3 Silas is fine though. You can kind of ban out some of the worst matchups that you might think you run into.
Escolha tinha ali um ângulo muito bom pra ela funcionar, mas
I feel like
também a gente
Silas
tem
is
que
kind of
levar em
like Yone,
consideração onde o
where
cara brilha, né? E não é ali
they're
no
really, really
top,
strong,
o Telas
but there
brilha
are
com
some
esse
counters.
Alistar.
The question is whether or not
Agora, pra segunda rodada de
you have
banimento,
the counter prepared for it.
falta pra Alpha
Like
7
Cassiopeia is
escolher
the North America's counter to
jungle,
Yone
e Isurus falta
and Silas to a
jungle e
certain extent.
Eles tiraram o
But the South
Rakan,
doesn't
pra ver
play
se eles vão tirar
Cassiopeia
o Léo ou se eles vão tirar o
at
Bardo
all.
da parte de baixo do mapa da Isurus. Eu
It was
acho
only
que
Tinones and he
os
retired,
dois
so.
são opções interessantes aí nessa seleção, mas antes a gente tem que ver o banimento da Isurus, né? Eles estão focando na parte central do mapa, eles baniram o LeBlanc, já tinham banido a Aurora anteriormente.
Nossa, é muito campeão de
LeBlanc is
mid,
an interesting
né?
ban. I don't feel like LeBlanc does that well into
Vai ferrar o
Silas.
pool do mid e ainda não vai ter a Akali.
Isso. Eles estão tentando proteger esse...
And same with Akali.
É, mas
I feel like if anything,
talvez vai vir uma Ari pra Alpha 7.
man, in 2022 Worlds,
É
it
o
was
jogo
the Silas that beat the Akali.
Tem um monte de coisa, tem um Azir aberto.
It's kind of been that way
que
since. Interesting.
Sejuani banido.
Ok.
Tá pensando em Sejuani, mas...
Okay, top support,
Vocês vão querer puxar um Trundle aqui, então?
jungle support.
É um Trundle. Trundle pra Alpha
Ooh.
7 é legal, Trundle Azir, talvez.
I actually really like
Ah,
Poppy
não,
Sivir.
não, fecha aí o draft.
Because normally when you pick Poppy, you kind of lose out on engage a little bit, but with Sivir also on the hunt, you can kind of make up for that. So,
Do Ackerman, tá? Ele gosta de trabalhar
I like it,
bastante
I like
essa
it.
campeã. E eu também acho que quando a gente fala de um time que faz escolhas tão agressivas... Ah, ele tem esse Huey.
yeah, we've been seeing Hui be sort of the soft counter to, or I don't want to call it soft counter. It's been the answer to Silas. I don't think it's that bad. Like the laning is kind of tough, but once you're out of laning,
Então essa é a possibilidade de aparecer aí
or
o
once you kind of get first
Trundle
item, then you start punishing the Hui, and then Hui can't 1v1 you anymore, and then it's just more about team.
Ser AD Carry pra dar o complemento do long range, mas pode ser essa
Okay.
última seleção aí da Alpha 7.
Beleza.
They did that yesterday. They kept hovering
Vai
Lulu on.
ser.
Actually no, it was.
Ok. Eu também gosto
Isurus
desse
was hovering
Trundle, tá?
Lulu
Eu acho
yesterday.
que, levando em consideração que a gente não
Drake
tem
Hero
do
with
lado
the
tantos campeões
Pantheon.
parrudos, tirando essa pop,
That's
o
kinda
Trundle
whatever.
aparece como uma boa escolha, dá essa presença global pro Drake Hero pra ele conseguir aparecer um pouco
Volley
mais
Hero would be
atrás,
interesting.
mas me
I mean,
preocupa
it's really
um
good for the
pouco
engage
deixar
with the
alguma
speed
coisa
boost as well.
atrás do
It guarantees you run one
ainda
person down.
pode
And
trazer
A7 don't
mais
really have a
agressividade
tank,
pra
so
trabalhar.
Eu ia falar,
E inclusive o Trundle que vai passar,
Ah.
eu acho que é uma das principais
Trundle's
escolhas
kinda
aqui
meh.
que poderiam vir pra mão dele.
É, eu acho que tava indo assim no
Like,
caminho
Trundle's
do
just a
Trundle,
generally
né?
good pick.
O Trundle é uma
I-
planta do outro lado e-
My
É,
biggest problem most of the time with Trundle picks is just that
eu até gostava do
I feel like you're wasting the Trundle, you know? Like, Trundle has some really good synergies, it's really good combos.
Se a gente for falar de possibilidades,
But it's a good pick in general.
O que era melhor? Roubar do
The
Pantheon
pillar
ou
can slow
roubar
down a
do
lot of this.
pô, a do Trundle era melhor do que a do Pantheon. Pra teamfight, né? Pra teamfight, a do Trundle seria muito mais interessante.
Okay,
Escalava
I guess the
muito mais
idea,
rápido.
yeah, I think Isras's comp is actually significantly better. I'm just looking at A7 and I'm trying to figure out how they want to play this. Yunara wants a front line. They don't really have a front line. I mean, Alistair's Unbreakable Will is kind of good into Trundle specifically, because Subjugate steals stats, but Alistair's tankiness is not stats, it's flat damage reduction, which you can't really steal. So that's fine, but he's still not tanky enough to survive any of this. So relying on Meganar, I guess. Chiari is a good Nar player, but probably one of the better ones in the south. But it's still very conditional. Way into this comp doesn't feel that great either. Like if you try and Severing Bolt, Sivir should just spell shields it. I guess I don't understand the Pantheon. I'm not Pantheon's the bridge to the late game for Yunara and Hui, I suppose. I just don't see what Pantheon's gonna do after like the laning phase into this comp. He's just gonna get subjugated and just absolutely melted. Or else Chiari's gonna get subjugated. And Drake Hero's still gonna melt anyways. Like this Pantheon just shield, I guess, and then survive. Oh no, I don't like this comp. In isolation, this is like a 2.5 in isolation or lower, but I feel like yeah, it might be like a this might be a 1.5 to me. Yeah, I really don't like this comp. This comp's probably like a 4. Maybe even 4.5 actually. Yeah. The more I look at this draft, the more I think like this game might have already been decided to draft. I don't know. Drake Hero and Chiari have to like hard pop off, or Drake Hero's just got to get some insane ganks going. If all things are equal, the more I look at this comp from A7, the less I think it's playable. Late into Isras. Sivir just out damages Yunara. Silas is just like who's killing Silas? Yunara, I guess. But the incidental damage that Kenny can do on the way in will probably kill everybody else. Not to mention Zamudo is going to be running Riot too. It's got to be lanes for A7. Which makes this even more interesting to me. Drake Hero starting bot side's right, because then you end up top side for the early gank, and Chiari's your winning lane, so... I mean, arguably, technically, RD Gap is also a winning lane, but... The winning is... like, you outrange, basically. Yeah, so this makes sense to me. But Jose Deodo starting topside is not what I expected. I thought he'd just try and match the Pantheon. Because Jose Deodo just needs to nullify ganks, that's it. He doesn't need to get his own ganks off that bad.
Por enquanto tá tudo bem, eles vão trocando farm e o jogo vai avançando. A Sivir já tá bem na frente do farm em relação ao escuro. Tá zoneando legal essa brincadeira. É, esse zoning gigante é nível 1 do Alistar, cara. Não tem muita coisa que o Alistar vai conseguir fazer.
It's rough for Alistar. Alistar is actually not great at pushing early lanes because he's kind of squishy. And Yunara, after her nerfs, her laning's been kind of rough too.
Olhar para ver o quanto que ele vai perder. Ele perdeu 3 minions aí dessa onda de minions. É metade da onda de minions. Random Gap saiu bem, hein? Uma primeira passagem do José.
We see this a lot with Trundle. He just kind of walks through mid lane. Good read from RD Gap to just back off on that wave.
Ele é malandro, né, cara? Ele fez isso no primeiro jogo, já pegou os abates ali em cima do Random Gap aqui de Trundle.
But Jose Deodo kind of going that way also means that Zamudo should know he's like gonna get ganked. Oh, what is this? Yo, okay. Actually really like that from Zamudo. The very, very aggressive ward.
O Zamudo já foi para dentro do território inimigo, já jogou aquela sentinela, e aí é o tracking perfeito em cima do Drake Hero.
Positioning wise, I think Chiari should not have been where he was standing, but okay. I don't know why Chiari keeps sitting in that wave. That's how Zamudo gets onto you, as Renekton. I guess he's trying to bait, maybe. Or threaten, like he's baiting. Wow, all these wards from Isrus have been just spot on for tracking Drake Hero.
E quando a gente tem essa N no primeiro jogo na mão do Kane, agora também
No,
esse
Kenny's gonna try and
Silas,
delay backs.
são dois campeões que conseguem acompanhar o seu caçador pra auxiliar
That's really
nas
good.
iniciações que ele faz, né? E de novo ele traz um campeão que é bom também em fazer iniciação. O Trundle consegue aparecer rápido nas rotas, tanto nas rotas laterais quanto também no mid. Vamos ver como é que eles vão trabalhar aqui o time da Alpha.
Ackerman
7
solo on this
pra
lane. They don't know.
Agora o Pilar pegou.
Yo, okay. This is actually kind of criminal from Artie Gap now. Last game he did this too. He's disrespecting the damage that can come out. He's not flashing. Like, by the time Artie Gap should have flashed when the pillar went up. The moment the Epsilon duck hit, he just needs to flash. Instead, he waits there, takes extra damage, and then he flashes late. Last game too, on the Orianna, like, he just needs to space properly and be careful of the straights. If you just see the Annie running at you, flash if you have to. Like, right there, why wait? If he had just flashed over the pillar, back to safety, he'd be fine. In a way, he's lucky Kane didn't pick up the kill there. Or that lane could very fast become unplayable. As it stands, I'm actually very scared and worried for Random Gap. Because Pui is not very mobile, and into the Silas, if Kenny doesn't like actively try and trade, that wave is going to perma push out. I mean, you can see already Ackerman looking for the regank. Yeah, and already got dash again. No flash this time. Like this. Oh my goodness, I'm actually sad and frustrated. And now Drake Hero might die too. Okay. Like I thought Zamudo was gonna slice and dice through the minion wave and then get the stun. Might just be cooldowns from Katie and Ackerman back up yet, potentially. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Artie Gap this game, this series. I mean, he did this yesterday, or not yesterday, 2 days ago against Farmville too. And he did skill up in that series. I just fear that Istris is not going to give him the time to skill back up. Not to mention, it's not just the Artie Gap issue. Like, there are other lanes that are getting impacted by this. That's so funny. It's literally 2v1. Screw is just like pew-pewing away, and Zamudo just does not care. He literally won the 1v2 with Thomas on. Did they dive? Ackerman. Oh, they want the dive. I don't think they get the dive. Okay. That's funny. Yeah, Ackerman gets to do this because of Unsealed Spellbook, so he gets the free pressure. All these delay TPs. Yo, do they see this? They don't see this. They don't know. Kenny should not be picking those up. That needs to go to Jose. They want to kill Drake Hero. Okay, he's out. And they get the seal. Yep, they secure. Oh, nice now from Kenny. It's not enough, but the idea was there. Okay, Dragon for one's kind of worth. Flash is traded. Okay. Yeah, Isurus was playing a little bit risky there, considering that they already kind of got forced out the bot lane. But they get the Dragon's worth. A7's going to be fine with that too. A7 at least got 1 kill on the back end of it. They're on the board. They're not falling. Why ask why, Lunar? Because honestly, at this level, I'm expecting certain things from these players.
Até porque na proposta do swap, né, a Isurus acabou abrindo bastante vantagem no farm ali com o Snacker. E a gente sabe que ele tá nessa zona de conforto dele com essa CV, fazendo esse começo de jogo ainda melhor pra ele. Então o Alpha 7 precisa acelerar esse jogo em algum local.
Well, it's fine. I mean, A7 caught up in gold. First drag is not the end of the world. I personally do like Ocean Drag a lot for first drag though. I think it's one of the better dragons to be able to pick up. Or laning. Because it's just the way the trade patterns work in lane. Oh? Drake Hero? Brother, we are Grand Star falling blind. I don't know what A7's doing anymore. I genuinely don't know what A7 is doing.
Só rezou e é isso aí mesmo.
Like, he just dropped in blind. His team wasn't even in a position to follow up.
Kine agora na parte central, segura e
That,
mais vantagem
look,
para
like,
eles dois
I say that Drake Hero is aggressive, and he is, but that's not aggression. That's just
conquistar mais uma vez
a death wish. Like,
proezas, tal como no jogo anterior.
E depois desse engage meio torto aí, o time da Alpha 7 perde os vírus. É Deodo de novo. Pra cima do Random Gap, ele não tem flash dessa vez. E aí,
Okay.
vai sendo
And now RD Gap is just getting bullied. This one isn't on RD Gap. He's just getting bullied. There's nothing he can do about it. He's falling too far behind.
Acaba caindo, o time da Isurus decola.
Tinha o flash sim, ele usou muito tempo depois que o pilar tinha
Okay.
subido
Well,
mais uma vez,
Nossa,
né?
achei que ele não tinha. que não
I know
tinha
it's
voltado aí.
way too early to call
Não,
it,
fica
but
tranquilo que tá fora do cooldown de novo. Tá lá, o ultimate
Não tinha visão,
ele
não.
não tinha visão não. Aí é que infortúnio.
yeah, look how far away his team
Ele
is.
quis acelerar a rotação.
Like, what? He's trying to sprint there to steal grubs? Like,
Dava pra entender
that ain't
a
happening.
movimentação do Alpha 7 estava perto. Só
if your team's on the way, just wait for them.
Não é um boneco tão simples de executar. Ele requer um pouco mais de sinergia, um pouco mais de cautela. Será que
Yeah.
é possível?
Again, it is too early to call the game, but
Ele vai ficando
this is feeling really bad for
Tenta
A7.
feitiço, flash, busca a proteção da torre, ainda assim vai sendo alvejado.
Oh.
O escuro não consegue pegar,
Yeah, Skuro's
bate
trying to
Jack.
just carry this
Sai,
game at this point.
Vivinho, Vivinho.
Porque teve o reset da fight por causa do popcóptero. Ele isolou o Drake Hero que não.
Like, I think if A7 make one more, actually no, if Surge just play it clean, I think yeah, it's good. It's not really possible A7 come back in because compositionally, this is what I'm talking about for the comp as well. How does A7 come back when they fall behind? They don't have a true tank. They're basically banking on Kiari, but Kiari is not a tank half the time. His Narbar is going to be quite advertised. Drake Hero can't engage. Tilas is going to melt. The scaling on this side is just way better. Or not, okay, I should say way better. It is better, especially in team fights.
Está se tornando de novo grandes problemas para Alpha 7, grandes sangramentos para eles estancarem em todas as rotas muito cedo no jogo, antes dos 15 minutos.
Mais uma vez o problema principal.
Low-key, I want to see Flamengo versus A7 again, because I want to see if Flamengo can actually take A7. If A7, the way A7's playing today and the way Flamengo has played in this tournament, Flamengo has been punching. They look like an actual CBLOL team right now. Flamengo.
Pra mim é culpa dele, sim.
Não, eu tô
Tinha que ter
falando.
flechado aqueles dois pilares e ele não teria morrido.
Tudo
é
bem,
isso.
tudo bem.
Não tem muito o que fazer.
I guess it makes the performance against Istrus that much more impressive when you see the way Istrus is playing against A7 right now.
Aí os filhos da mãe flecham pra trás e escapa. Beleza, saiu. Não tem jeito, cara. Não vai
Não, mas
viver
a
sem esse
sua
flash.
função tá certa, porque daí você volta e
Isso,
ganka de
tudo
novo,
bem,
que o
isso
cara
aí.
não vai ter flash.
Ah, tudo bem, beleza.
Fala mais
Mas
um
aí-
acampamento e volta. Joga aqui lá no mesmo lugar.
Deixa a desgraça pra acontecer pra frente. É que nem o cartão de crédito, pô. Você vai jogando tudo lá pra frente.
Very cautious from
Depois
Zamudo. He had no
resolve.
vision.
Aqui a situação é difícil pro time da Alpha 7, que tá aí 4-1 no placar, o ouro vai distanciar.
Yeah, one thing we didn't talk about as well is the fact that Drake Hero, with the Grand Starfall, technically should have map pressure, and that puts the most pressure on Roy Zamudo of all people. But so far, it's not manifested at all.
A equipe da Isurus.
É isso aí, ó.
A parada toda é assim. É o quanto que o jogo vai.
The pacing of the game has allowed us just to basically force Drake Hero to be present for team fights and not threatening the sidelines.
Inclusive, olha lá, ó.
And then in team fights, Drake Hero's effectiveness has just dropped off.
O time da Isurus não só pega o dragão, mas
This is Dragon and free kill.
contrabate pelo meio.
Porque não tem o
We saw it
que
yesterday.
defender
This was, I think it was
da
game
Alpha
3 or
7,
game
pô.
4.
A
Game
Isurus tá no mapa inteiro,
4, I think it was,
todo
where Ursus fell
mas
behind.
eles são contestados.
And when they fell behind, I really like what they did.
Por aqui, o escudo.
Oh, man.
Tenta escapar, mas fica muito difícil.
Squirrel's cutting really
De um
well.
lado pro outro, Telas deu aquela moralzinha.
He's just not getting out alive.
That-
That's why Kenny just stopped killing him, because they wanted to try and get a 2-for. Can they get a 2-for? Oh, they actually had. Damn. Ackerman's gonna pick up both kills.
Papo carry.
Oh!
Olha a chegada do Drake
Boot.
Bora, Panther.
É jogada
That's clean.
longe.
And Ackerman dropped third aggro
Alpha 7
perfectly.
vai sendo
Okay, they didn't get the 2 for though.
dominado.
Caiu até no mid
Still,
também.
this is what I mean by Istrus is
Não
very clean
param de
today.
crescer pra
The way they're
Isurus.
playing this.
A gente tinha acabado de falar que era 1K meio 2 a vantagem.
Yeah, so I was saying
De
yesterday,
novo,
Istrus, I
aquela
think it was game
margem
4.
dos
They
quatro
had a skill in
pontos.
composition, but they
De novo,
screwed up their
aquela
early game
margem
in like
próximos
giving up 3
15
kills
minutos
very,
de
very
partida.
early. And they were just tilling. And Flamengo was very efficient at snowballing yesterday. But one thing I really liked what Istrus did was instead of trying to fight at the objectives, they just Went, okay, every objective you want to take, we will send one person to harass you enough that you're going to send people there to secure it, and then we're going to make a cross-map play. And just find gold. Take as many turns as we can to catch up. I think that's a better call. And for A7 especially, right now, you're behind. Pantheon is not going to be great at the bigger team fights. Don't team fight. Oh. Wait, Kenny might die here. Kenny. Oh no, Kenny.
Tentou pegar aquele arauto? Não, não era arauto, era aranguejo.
Ele tentou contestar o aranguejo, tem briga, Grutar.
Oh dear, they caught Skuro again. Yeah, the carries, Artie Gap and Skuro are not having a good day today. Like Drake Hero made one big mistake, but Artie Gap and Skuro have been making lots of little mistakes, positional mistakes. Another flash burn. Yeah, especially when Drake Hero can just man drop across the map. I'd much rather see him just make a cross map play every single time. For these objectives right now, if they happen, forget it. Just make cross map, cross map, cross map. Try and get gold back, catch back up, and then look to fight. Artie Gap especially so far behind. 0-4-0. He's sat on a lost chapter when Kenny's looking at Photo Belt plus component. There we go. Here's the cross map for when Herald spawns. That's what we want to see. Oh, Ackerman. Good ward. Really good ward. Now the problem is, can he actually get in here? He just needs to buy time for Zamuro to clear out the wave. Diving Zamuro is risky. Like, it can be done. It's just that the investment's very, very high. And with Ackerman being able to just keep his verdicts on people out, it complicates this dive immensely. Chiari is almost mega. Ackerman has to be careful. They're sending all 5 members. Even Skuro is being called down. Okay. They should. Yeah, they should get this dive. Zamuro can flash away in time. But this is what I mean. The resources they're plugging, man. They're lucky Snaker actually rotated out of mid to try and reinforce bot. If Snaker just kept pushing, they're going to lose. They've already lost one outer, one inner. They could have lost another inner if Snaker just kept pushing. Wait, they surely get this, yeah? Yeah, Chiari should get it. That's fine. Yeah, okay. Imagine they don't. They don't even get the objective bounty. Yikes. The gold gap actually isn't as bad as the game feels right now. It's just a 3k gold gap. But it just feels really bad. If Ackerman dies, it's on Jose. Jose didn't help him. Jose went for the pedals. Okay, it doesn't matter. Snaker's arrived. Snaker and Kenny are here. Yep, I was going to say, is somebody going to write this for the knockup? This could be huge. Oh no, Jose! He needed the round 2! Ah, Jose screwed that up. That's actually super funny. Because Ackerman got picked because of Jose, and then Jose also didn't go back in. Are they going to win this on the re-engage anyways? Ackerman dies again. No, he lives? Ackerman just got back to, by the way, from dying the first time. Oh, LTAS, you got baited. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I can't believe Isurus went from throwing that to doing this. Zamuro can dive. Oh, yeah. With Kenny, 100%, yeah, they're looking for the dive. This is... the next rush will tell us. Give it to Kenny! Give it to Kenny! It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Okay, yeah, that's the game breaker right there. It's kind of disgusting that Isra still win that fight after trolling
Tinha sido uma falha
trolling at the
ótima.
beginning so badly.
3 abates pra eles e 0 pra equipe da Isurus. E aí,
Like, I would love to hear their comms, because I suspect Jose Diodo was like, "Oh, Ackerman, you got this, right? Like, wait, let me grab the pedal," and then Ackerman dies, and then they have to fight 4v5, and then Jose Diodo takes the Herald, only gets one knockup, doesn't even get the tight turnaround, the pin hit turn. So the fight ends up going from a 3v4, sorry, 4v5 to a 3v5 for a bit, because Jose Diodo did that. And it still doesn't matter, because it's just came back and wiped them anyways. Yeah, that's the kind of screw up. So it becomes a 5v3, or 4v3, I guess. 5v3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5v3, yeah.
Isso aqui tá pago já.
But this turn is really nice from Isrus. It's not even like A7 misplay that. The only person they were kind of missing is LTAS. And they weren't that split that the carries weren't able to pump out damage. They're just kind of low.
E sabe qual é o problema, Fogueta? Você tava olhando pros ultimates da Alpha 7. Eu tava de olho na Isurus.
And Ackerman's return, I think, actually turned things. Because Ackerman ended up tanking a lot of the damage that came across. But he's the support, so even if he's forced out, it's not the end of the world for ISG. Like, him just being a meat shield was good enough for that fight. But yeah, if they did that 3K, you are not winning after 6K.
É claro que a gente fala que a Alpha 7 precisa entender o ritmo da Isurus ser muito acelerado, mas eles também precisam entender que é um time que tem uma expertise em cobrar erros.
I still think A7 can go like match hands with Isrus, at least in the laning phase. The team fight so far, not so much, but in the laning phase, this game is a really bad indicator because they screwed their draft and laning really badly. 5K. Pillar's up a bit early. Oh, they didn't get Drake Hero out. Oh, doesn't matter. Silas is just such a beast with Unbreakable. Yeah. Notice how Chiari like turned Mega at the end of that fight. That's my huge issue with Nar. It's really hard to get the timings right. Because the other team is going to do whatever they can to make sure they don't play in the bad timing.
E a torre vai pro chão, não tem muita coisa. Esse teleporte não vai salvar muita coisa não.
Ele só tinha 2 milhãozinho, né, cara?
Oh,
assim, o time
they still get it.
Consegue derrubar a torre. O teleporte deles agora vai parar a perseguição do time.
I think they learned not to overchase by now.
5 jogadores posicionados. Ainda assim, a Isurus vai só fazendo a partida, dá aquela recuada e ganha mais espaço.
Drags in 2 minutes, Barons in 3.5.
Na parte inferior.
A equipe da Isurus agora vai dar uma
acelerada
nesse momento, vai esperando porque eles estão em ponto de alma também, daqui a 2 minutinhos.
They're half an item up against A7. The timing of that's going to be actually really bad for A7 because it's just going to be on 3rd item when A7's on 2nd item for the next fight. And that's assuming that nobody gets picked first. Like, you don't have good answers to the Zamudo Kenny right now on split push. Drake Hero still has not gotten a good Grand Starfall to reinforce the side lane. All of it's been used for objectives.
Ninguém traz esse jogo de volta, ninguém tá bem na partida.
O Ruei, ele tem esse potencial de crescimento, né? A gente sabe que ele é um campeão que ele gosta desse late game, ele joga.
I wonder how much of yesterday was just that. It's just that was their first stage game with Kenny. And that, like, game 1. Well, actually, no, it was game 3, game 4 that Isrus lost. I just wonder how much of that's just like teething pains. Whoa, hello. That's not me, guys, I swear. That was the feed. That's actually Caesar inducing. Jeez.
Se ele consegue esse abate, o potencial da campeã vai ficar muito grande e de bater de longe, sendo que ela tem muita defesa, porque quem vai chegar nessa backline?
Sim, não tem. Você pode ver, o Telas não consegue entrar, o Drake Hero não consegue chegar, é muito difícil para a equipe da Alpha 7 executar isso. Você falou, né? O Ackerman joga muito bem com essa pop. Pô, ele trava muito do jogo. A equipe da Alpha 7 vai tentando dominar a própria selva, mas
it's just taking their own sweet time right now.
O jogo tá muito esquisito, tá muito travado. Faltam 30 segundos pro Dragão, que pode ser a alma do time da Isurus. E não é uma alma qualquer, né? É uma alma infernal.
Eles vão pra cima do escuro.
Escuro foi cercado.
Oh, they caught Skuro. Wait, Blast going? Oh, Skuro gets out. Oh, he does not get out. Never mind. Snake ran him down. I thought he was going to get a safety. Evidently not.
Tenta pegar o Zanudo, mas ele recupera bastante vida. Sterak ali
Yeah.
fazendo a moralzinha. Drake Hero e o Telas tentando jogar, mas eles de novo são
That's-
cercados
this
e de
is-
novo as eliminações vão saindo.
this game?
Favorecendo aí os Urus. Que
No, it's not
deslanche
game. They're
de
just gonna go for drag.
gosto agora com a alma do dragão infernal.
No
Honestly, the game
timing
feels a little bit
exato
draggy at
que
this point.
acontece, né? Eles já tinham feito pick-off no escuro. E aí, é pick-off lá na parte do meio do mapa, é atropelo aqui na parte de baixo, é alma no bolso. O jogo tá nas mãos da Isurus.
Yeah, Isaac.
e tá
Yeah.
perto de ser impossível
100%.
perder.
Agora já
I mean, they couldn't win at
teve
3K. They're not winning at
essa
7K.
briga nesse ponto aí, quase perto dos
And that's gonna
20
blow up
do
even
jogo,
bigger soon
então,
because they're just waiting for
basicamente,
Baron at this point.
10 itens fechados, fechou
And that's
esse
Infernal
clube
Soul.
agora,
Like, it's
que
just
dá uma
everything's
potência
working
pra ela
against them at this
muito
point.
grande. E como a gente falou, né? Não é fácil acessar essa backline. Ah, mas tem o Pantheon, tudo bem, mas a hora que o Pantheon chega na Sivir é uma ultimate da Pop que joga de longe. Enfim, muito dano. E aqui nessa luta, eles até encontraram um bom ângulo pra bater nos amudos. Só que ele
It's so
até recupera
deceptive.
vida,
It's like,
nem
oh,
a
we could think we got you.
vai
Nope,
tirar o
surprise,
Chiari
Dominus.
aqui da luta,
And
e
Sterek's
aí o Drake
Cage.
fica totalmente vendido no lance.
Because
já
why not?
pouca vida. Quando o Chiari tenta voltar, não tem mais ninguém.
You can see the idea. I'm not even like,
Você
criticizing
tem
A7 for that.
E agora,
You're just so far
ele
behind.
fica
You're just trying to
por
make whatever
ali,
play you
já
can. It's
imaginando
just,
que o
it's
Sniper vai
Renekton,
fazer a
man.
passagem, mas ele também não consegue bater de
You just don't have an
frente.
answer to Renekton and
Então,
Silas right
a
now.
Fez a
situação pra
passagem,
Alpha
dessa foi
7.
melhor.
Exato. Ok, bom argumento. Argumentou. E agora pra Alpha 7 é tentar segurar um pouco
Yeah,
essas
this
rotas, tentar
team,
fazer um pouco
this
desse
draft from
set,
A7 does not have
mas
good comeback
sempre com as
mechanics.
costas
You're just
contra a
praying for a
parede,
pick.
né? Sempre protegendo muito bem a sua base.
We've already seen too that
porque
Isurs can even win the fight
mais fácil
3v5,
que
so
a Isurus conseguir
even if they do
garantir,
get the pick,
eles vão
it's
ir
not
pra
gonna end well.
rota e eles vão começar a abrir esse inibidor.
Nossa, e a
Meu
Alpha
Deus,
7
olha
vai
essa
Okay, just end this. They've got the flank.
Chegando, Kane de um lado, ZDO do
Snaker
outro,
pops on the hunt.
o Ackerman tavam meio longe, então o time da Alpha 7 ganhou um
It's
pouquinho
3
de
items too,
vantagem.
so.
Chiari chegou no Mega Nar, mas foi driblado, ele não teve tanta efetividade.
There we go.
Começa a cair o
Zamudo
jogo
and Kenny on the
da Alpha
back
7,
line.
o escuro foi o primeiro.
That's gonna be a nightmare.
Vencendo todo mundo. 3 abaixo.
Oh! Tillas! Brother Tillas decided he didn't want to die today and he does not care about Drake Hero. That is not support mentality, guys. Do not take notes from Tillas. I'm gonna be completely honest, it doesn't change things for A7. Like, the game's over, but it was just really funny watching the support be like, every man for himself! Screw it!
2-0.
Vem com tudo aí, Isurus, pra garantir então o segundo ponto nessa série, já botar um pezinho na grande final. É GG! Vitória da Isurus!
That cracks me up. Really well played. Again, Isrus are just strangling out. But yeah, that one I very much blame the draft for A7. I did not like it right from the get-go. Your only way of winning, I felt like, was Pantheon just snowballing the crap out of lanes. You saw how ineffective the Hui was, basically, when you fell behind. Because if you had a front line who could buy you the space and time, that'd be one thing. But you don't have anybody to buy you the time or really like, properly disengage to allow Hui to land poke. He has to leave him to die so he can recall the 1v1. Yeah, because the battle, he went battle call, right? My bad. Yeah, and with the like on the hunt and the potential engage forms from Isrus, this was just not playable. And then not to mention keepers ready can eat out the front line, so then suddenly Yunara and Hui, RD Gap and Skura are just exposed. Just not a good draft. I'm not quite sure why or how we ended up this way. The other problem with the draft that really bugged me was B1 Yunara. Like what this draft from A7 doesn't take advantage of blue side. If you're gonna do this, why blue side? Just red side this. Like I would still scream if you red sided this, but at least, you know, it'd be one less thing for me to complain about. I don't know. This is a weird draft from A7. This also makes it such that I don't really know what they have to do to fix their problems in Game 3. Like, yes, you need to fix your draft, but besides fixing your draft, is it that you can't match hands right now? Because I believe personally that A7 can match hands with Isrus. Game 1 felt like, okay, we just... Couple mistakes here or there, whoopsies, you know. But going into Game 3 with your backs up against the wall, especially when there's a lower bracket to fall to, I feel like a lot of teams... I'm actually really curious now. Like, I have no idea how I'd go about checking this, but I'm actually really curious how many reverse sweeps come in the upper bracket and how many come in the lower bracket. Because I feel like a lot of teams in the upper bracket, when they start losing, they just kind of let it slide, you know? Like, they don't fight to the bitter death. But I could be wrong.
a culpa não é dele de tomar o gank, a culpa é de não sair do gank com
Aí é
o flash.
flash, ó. Flash.
Isso aí.
Pronto.
Quer dizer, o que eu estou
Okay, so yeah.
é o problema do
The Costa saying the same thing I am about RD Gap. Like, RD Gap this series has not performed well. He's been making a lot
Eu
of
ia falar um pouquinho disso,
poor
porque,
decisions.
assim, o time da Alpha 7 tem que traquear o ZDO do cara.
Sim.
Tem que botar. Se, é o que vocês chegaram a acabar
Like,
de
I
falar,
won't put
tem
the
que
loss
ser
solely on
linear,
RD Gap. He's not the only,
ligado, o próprio-
but
o
he
próprio
he is
Randall
making
fica mais
problem.
ligado,
He is
tem que
making mistakes in
saber
the laning phase
que o
specifically,
ZDO vai tá
which
lá
I
em
think
cima dele.
does snowball,
Essa jogada mostra
especially
o que a
against
gente tá
good
falando.
teams.
Sem controle de visão, os caras
I think
querem
they're
fazer o
really able to
objetivo.
punish
Vai o ultimate.
these
No
laning
bundle, esse
mistakes
joga
and just
no
kind
wave
of snowballing
5
off
maluco.
of
Por
that.
quê? Porque não tem visão. A Alpha 7 estava toda pertinho. Se fosse outro time, se fosse um time do calibre do circuito desafiante, que a Alpha 7 enfrentou no ano inteiro, provavelmente essa jogada teria funcionado. Mas contra a Isurus, não vai funcionar.
Tem uma questão também nessa discussão de visão que a gente começa a perceber um pouco mais.
This
ao
game
longo
is
do
just
jogo,
largely an
é
Isurus
que
highlight reel
toda
after the
vez que
laning phase.
a Isurus consegue abrir uma mínima vantagem, seja derrubando uma torre a primeira torre de uma rota ou conquistando espaço num rio, eles sempre conseguem
Okay, I guess that was the one time we saw already Drake Hero actually use the Grand Starfall to gank a side lane.
Eles já colocam uma sentinela um
Because
pouquinho
besides
mais pra
that, it
trás.
was mostly
A
just
partir do momento que eles derrubaram as 3 primeiras torres, a linha de visão deles
like
já
trying to
passa
get to fights and stuff like that,
totalmente
which really
da
isn't where
selva
the team was
do
going to
time da
excel.
Alpha 7. E aí, se por um lado a gente tá falando da Alpha 7 que não tá conseguindo fazer esse trabalho de tracking tão bem feito, a Isurus, por outro lado, sabe exatamente aonde o Drake Hero vai estar todo o momento.
Sim, com certeza a equipe da Isurus está... Assim,
Damn,
até
Snaker
agora,
chasing. I actually thought Skrull was
foi o que
just
aconteceu
safe at that
ontem,
point. I
né?
didn't
Os
expect
dois
Snaker to
primeiros
just keep
jogos,
going,
eles
but
carretaram o Flamengo
why
com um
not?
apagão
You didn't need the
do
flash or anything
segundo
else.
quarto. Mas até agora a Isurus não parece estar no mesmo patamar da Alpha 7.
This is okay.
Parece estar
So
passo à frente, degrau
one thing
acima
with the
da
replay
Alpha 7.
packages, I actually really like replay packages. I think they're great. They're fantastic. From a cost review, sometimes when we were talking about the replay package, a lot of times like the first few are good, and then maybe there's like one in the middle, and then there's like one at the end. Everything that kind of goes in between there, I don't talk about as much as a caster, like when we have the replay packages running, because a lot of it's like nice highlight reels to watch players pop off, but usually the fights are kind of done by then. But like the game's pretty much GG over. Oh, sorry, I just realized I've died apparently. There we go. My model just died on me for some odd reason. Kiari did well. Okay, Kiari did well, but also to me, this is just the way this comp operates, right? Like this had to pop off. These numbers need to be higher, if anything. Zamudo did surprisingly little damage. I guess he was in a melee versus range matchup, so I thought he did more. I think he had more impact than his damage shows. Kenny though is Silas OP. Like I said, if you don't have a real counter pick to it, it's going to be a problem. Just like Yone. And the South does not have good answers. Envy at least has the Vex he can pick.
Não é mais pick de primeira seleção. Aí passa o Renekton pros caras, o Zamudo faz o estrago que fez. Eu sei lá, a equipe
I think Vex is a better counter than the Hui is.
Na semana,
And I think Vex is a bit of a fake counter.
A gente falou que eles pareciam o Alpha 7 da fase regular. Hoje eles entraram parecendo o Alpha 7 da fase regular de novo.
Não é a Alpha 7 chinesa que está aqui, mas a gente vai para um rápido intervalo e na volta a gente descobre se a Isurus já se consagra na nossa grande final.
Guys,
ou se
do we
a Alpha
think-
7 vem pro quinto
Do we think
jogo.
A7 take a game?
Daqui a pouquinho, não sai daí, a gente volta já já.
No talk right now. I don't want to say they can't take a game because that sounds like the A7 hater crap that Lunar keeps putting in here, but yeah, I am disappointed. After yesterday's series, I really thought that we'd see closer games come through. I mean, to be fair, Flamengo did come back after losing 2 games, so maybe A7 could do that. But I feel like I saw more from Flamengo than I've seen from A7 so far. Like Flamengo had wild swings that looked like they could come back in. A7 are just getting bent. The same way Liz yesterday was wanting a 5-game series. I kind of want a 5-game series today. Yesterday I didn't have lunch prepared, so I actually had to cook after thing. So shorter games have been better for me in terms of eating. But today I actually have prepared food, so I don't care if it goes 5 games. I, in fact, would prefer it going 5 games. Also, the music today, not to my liking. I don't like heavy metal, I guess. Hey, yo! Okay, I didn't realize Sting was... I found Sting and Goot, guys! Sting and Goot are up in North America. They're looking to... They're in collegiate together. Nin, Sting, Zusty, Doppler, and Goot. I recognize 3 out of 5 of those names. Actually 4. I do recognize Zusty's name, but not from UB Academy. They're currently looking for a school. Damn. That's cool. The Brazilians are invading CLOL. Nice. Bren, you like to think Isra should waltz to this tournament. Do you think it's better for the region if the T2 teams are challenging Tier 1? Or is it a sign that the low end of CBLOL is too weak? It's better for the region if LA is competitive, right? Yes, I think it is better for the region if LA is competitive. And I do think the top end of LA can be competitive, for sure. We've seen that on the international stage multiple times against us. Against Brazil, specifically. As to, is it a sign that the low end of CBLOL is too weak? I think that depends on the split. Right now, I think Flux's W7M is too weak. They are not even arguably as good as Pain Gaming Academy was last year. So I do think Flux's W7M is too weak. Leviathan is the other kind of weaker team, but Leviathan are a bit more mixed on it, and I think they have ways to fix their problems. So... yeah, is it a sign? A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I do think it's also that the tier 2 in the south is pretty decent, actually. Like, there is potential for our tier 2, for sure. More Brazil than LRS. I'm sorry to say that, but I think the LRS is a bit weaker as a whole. Farenven is good. I think Farenven is the one team from the LRS that I actually think is quite competitive. And that's why I feel like their 3-1 loss to A7 did not showcase the best of Farenven. Yeah, if anything, I think they actually underperformed a little bit there. But generally speaking, I think they're quite competitive. As to your first part of the question, I guess, do you think it's better for the region if tier 2 teams are challenging tier 1 teams? Yes, I think that's fantastic. That means that you've got a great pipeline. You've got a lot of talent. And you don't have enough space. And I think Brazil was kind of in that spot, which is why our tier 2, like CBLOL Academy was expanding right before the merger. We're up to like 12 teams at that point, right? With potential plans for more expansion in other places as well. So I love it when a tier 2 is good. And even if it means that the tier 1 lower end is weaker, so be it. At least there's competition to push them. I always just want to see competition. If you don't have competition, you end up with one team leagues or one team regions, and that's usually when that region stagnates like crazy. Like, I think that's LEC's problem right now. I think LEC, they had so many like up and coming talent developing like a couple of years ago, and then it kind of dried up for some odd reason. And then now it's stagnating because you only have G2 at the top. And I don't think G2 is improving. Like, G2 is good, but they are not getting better. Like, the gap is growing between them and the East. To a certain extent, I fear this is what's going to happen to the West, to NA. With FlyQuest being heads and shoulders above, I don't know if they're going to improve. I don't think they've improved that much. I actually think the region has kind of deproved as a whole. Like, C9's gotten even more inconsistent. Team Liquid had made a move away from them.
E até já pensando pouco em escolhas em picks e buzz que a gente vai ter daqui a pouquinho, eles estão banindo muita coisa do mid e começo a me perguntar se essa grande preocupação com o Kane também não acaba afetando o Random Gap, porque nos dois jogos
I hope that CBLOL Academy, when it comes back, is... Well, I mean, this split was already quite competitive, I guess.
O Huey também não é um campeão que ele consegue brilhar tanto, bem mais para ser uma resposta para esses Sylas, porque desde o primeiro jogo são vários banimentos desse mid e ele acaba ficando sem escolhas também.
Eu acho que, pra mim, é menos... O maior problema é o primeiro ponto que você... Os dois primeiros pontos que você falou, que são o José Deudo livre pelo mapa sem nenhum tipo de presença na visão da Alpha 7 E o Telas
The other thing too is that
esses são os
it's
dois
worth
maiores
keeping in
problemas,
mind this
porque aí,
Isurus has Kenny in,
se
which I think is
qualquer
another
motivo
issue in and of
do
itself.
lane do Random
Like,
Gap
I have no
não tivesse
problem
com
with
o
Kenny
controle,
as a player.
se
I
ele
just more of a
tivesse
problem
Sarah,
with like the
por
fact
exemplo,
that
ele ia continuar sendo gankado pelo Polar
you can
Racing
import
ele
like
ia
another.
continuar
You can
sendo
import
um
like
fator
players in
nulo.
to
Então,
basically
pra
mercenary your
mim,
way through this, and it's
o
not
segundo
Kenny
ponto,
who's
o
going to be the
segundo
mercenary. The
ponto,
timing of
meio
Kenny
que
joining is
o
just
efeito dominó desse primeiro.
really sus.
De não ter
Zamudo is
o
actually the
Zamudo
mercenary
com a
here,
presença
right?
do-
Because
do-
I don't know Zamudo's thing. I don't think
e também
Zamudo's staying at
no
Isurus. I think he's going back to
no-
Lion
no Caçadores
when he
também.
can get his
Vai,
visa.
no livre, Rosa de Ouro.
Tem que
Um,
trabalhar melhor isso, o time da Alpha 7.
so like these sort of lone
O
players for
Zamudo,
promo
ele era
relegation, I feel
demais,
like is
cara. Ele
probably not
começou
right.
o ano aqui no Brasil nessa posição e ele tá terminando o ano nessa posição. Ele é muito bom, cara. E aí,
Sim.
assim, no primeiro jogo, entregou
Like
o
without
principal boneco dele.
Kenny
que é o
and
Pô.
Zamudo,
Agora, ele tá tendo toda a liberdade, não tem tracking em cima dele. O time da Alpha 7 tá
with
vendo
Liza
simplesmente
and
desandar total e
crap, I'm
ele não
forgetting
tem resposta. Esse
who
que é o problema.
their
Na primeira partida, Foguetinha, eu falei pra você assim,
top laner
acende
was.
uma luz amarela da Alpha 7 que eu tô sentindo o jogo
Who is
deles
this, your
muito
top laner?
difícil. E agora já tá luz vermelha aí na
Let's
sala,
go check Wikipedia.
E é até curioso que se a gente for parar pra relembrar um pouquinho.
Holy crap,
lá
their
no
page is very,
primeiro
very
jogo,
big.
o primeiro
Zoan
rank que o Random
was
Gap
their top
toma
laner.
é com José
Yeah,
Deodo, a
with
segunda com o
with
Telas.
Zoan and Liza, I
E
actually
aí,
think Flamengo
aconteceu um
could have
pouco
won
que
their
funcionou desde
series.
o José Deodo,
So.
mas depois quem ficava aparecendo na rota do meio era o
Yeah, and
Telas.
A7 might be more competitive as well. Because to give credit, Kenny is a problem. Kenny's good. The LA mid lanes, the LA seems to find better mid laners than Brazil for some odd reason. I say fine because Kenny's Korean import, but one that works. Yeah, that's why the Kenny was allowed to be able to sign. Yeah. I mean, I see both sides of the argument. The counter argument is also that if Kenny doesn't sign, then what? You have Leza playing when Leza knows they're going to get kicked. What's stopping Leza from just inting, right? But I would rather see an inting player who's just given up than to see like these are like potential mercenary imports. Again, Kenny is not a mercenary import. He's actually been signed like longer term. It's just the timing of it again allows for the idea of mercenaries.
Pode vir como MF também, mas o Ezreal, porque já foi utilizado antes, eu acho que vai vir Ezreal e Rel, ou Ezreal e Leona para a equipe da Alpha 7. Aí é ver o que Isurus vai responder, porque Isurus pode responder com...
Okay, I see A7 red side with the way they're drafting.
No mapa,
Like, I just do not think the way they drafted
tem Pike do
was
Elton,
worth the
então
blue
tem
side at all. At least big counter pick if you're gonna do that.
É problemático.
At least go red side and have option to counter pick if you're gonna do that.
Eu não lembro qual desses.
Terceiro ou
Acho
quarto?
que foi um dos dois, eu não lembro qual. Foi a escolha do Jhin, né? Que coloca
I mean, well, I
numa
think it's
posição
just
de
very, very
proteção, porque
comfortable.
Ele fica bem
Fica longe, né?
recuado e ele ainda assim
Where they're
conseguiu
sitting.
ser inclusive um dos grandes responsáveis por essa vitória, né? Tudo bem que ele
Like,
tem,
draft-wise,
assim, no Jhin do trigo,
I've been liking
ele
Isurus' drops today.
não defenda
Yesterday had
Jhin,
some
não
wonky
defenda
drops from
Jhin,
both sides,
mas
but
pensando nessas
I mean, it's really
possibilidades
fun,
de
but,
escolhas
yeah.
que não precisem participar ativamente e que liberem o seu suporte para rotacionar o mapa, tá aí. Só que aí entra nessa discussão de novo. Acho que a Zaya também fazia isso, acho que a Yunara também
Take it
fazia
here from
isso.
there and
Não,
here,
assim,
Axion.
na minha cabeça,
Have a good one, man. See you soon.
ele é um dos
I don't know if you'll actually be back or whether the games will be over by then.
cara, não-
Pois é.
With the way the series is going.
E beleza.
No jogo anterior eles baniram a Kai'Sa.
Fingers crossed that
Sendo
you
que
come back,
ela
friend,
vai ser uma
and the
boa
games are still
escolha,
going.
né?
That A7 swings back.
Ainda mais se
Doable,
o first
doable.
pick era pra ele,
Aham.
né?
Eles optaram para pegar, porque meio que a Kai'Sa e a Yunara são fáceis do mesmo confronto,
Ela
né?
responde bem a
Eles
Yunara.
tiraram a Kai'Sa porque eles claramente deram a prioridade para a Yunara. Não se pagou. Eu volto a dizer que eu acho que o Escuro, apesar de a gente não tá falando tanto nele, ele não tá fazendo uma série ruim, não. Ele jogou mecanicamente...
Okay,
bem
we're
com
in
a
drop.
Zaya,
A7
jogou
still on blue
mecanicamente bem com a
side.
Yunara. É porque tá faltando
They're not
alguma
changing their
coisa,
minds. They
tá muito
double
difícil,
down.
O jogo tá muito difícil,
Na
é isso
tela
aí.
tá aí, então,
This-
pra gente acompanhar o
this is a
que
bold
aconteceu.
choice.
E as notícias boas pra Alpha 7 aqui. Não dá
This
pra
is a
ficar
rid-
pop de novo,
Legal.
tá? Não dá
Okay, you
mais.
know, I'll say it's a
Nem
ridiculous choice, to be
E
honest.
não precisa banir a Kai'Sa, porque a Yunara foi escolhida. Mas
Like, this is
baniram a
actually
Kai'Sa que eu
ridiculous at
vi
this point.
ali. Banimento número 2.
Open to Leah, for
Tudo
goodness
bem,
sakes.
então do lado azul, vamos ver qual
What
vai ser
other
essa
B1 are you
quantidade
picking
de
here?
first pick que eles vão trazer, porque já que eles escolheram esse lado azul...
This is just gonna open up Rumble and just say, I dare you to pick Rumble. That would be funny to me. Okay, they opened it up. They went to Jax ban. Okay. I mean, Kiari's got a good Jax, but I just don't think you're blinding it necessarily. Not here right now, but you want to add, Bren, that you think Zamudo signing really breaks competitive? Yeah. Guarantee that added Zamudo should probably walk the other teams down. Yep. I fully agree with you, Bren. I know you can't hear me, but actually, I'll type that out.
Até o presente momento não passou esse Rumble, né? Foi banido nos 3 jogos.
Olha, eles deixaram aberto.
Legal.
Baniram knock?
Baniram knock. Porque,
já
assim,
é aquela leitura que a gente tava fazendo, que você fez, né?
É. Porque se vier... Não, mas aí se pegar a Gwen, aí ferrou tudo. Porque do outro lado os caras pegam o Tami e o Rumble.
Eles deixaram...
Okay. Wait, I actually hate this. Like, Gwen is good for Kiari, but so was Jax. I guess they banned the Jax so they can pick the Gwen, but then that means Kenny gets Talia, and his Talia yesterday like actually single-handedly won them a game. I mean, you can Cassante into this. Oh wait, Zamudo's not Cassante player. Never mind, sorry. I was thinking Makes for a second. The Renekton from Zamudo is gone, unfortunately, so that's the other thing that I think you just slam into the Gwen to just abuse that pick. I don't know, man. I don't know. A7, okay, you know what? Hear me out. Well, A7, it's a B1 Gwen flex, and they're gonna flex it into the jungle where you can't bully it, and it gets to scale. That's never gonna happen, but yeah. See, there you go. Kenny Talia. This was a combo too that just took over the game mid. I am scared for RD Gap right now. I am terrified for RD Gap. To be fair, Envy also misplayed that matchup quite badly, but the Kenny was spot on with those seismic shoves. Okay. That was a good show. Now we go Ezreal? Why? Yeah, I know that like sometimes casters go like, oh, Ezreal's good into Vi because you can Arcane Shift and drag the Vi into your entire team, get isolated and everything. I'm gonna be honest, I don't subscribe to that. I think Vi just bodies Ezreal. Oh, they did open up Rumble. Yeah, I forgot about the Rumble because they banned Nocturne and opened up Rumble. Man, this drop is just so... I don't like... This is such a weird situation. Like, Isrus gets to wait for R3 for Rumble because they first picked Gwen. So they get to do this for free. And I guess that's why they took Rel, because they knew that the Rumble was open. They didn't want to give like Rumble Rel combo where you just set up a lot of problems. But here you can just go like Sedge or what's it, Skarner or Maokai. And then just pick like an engaged. Wait, no, what am I saying? Sorry, that's a jungle. That's a Vi already. Sorry, you go your Leona, Nautilus, Braum, Rakan. And Varus is open too. Like you can go Varus into Ezreal quite comfortably in lane. The only issue would be into the Gwen as a whole, but even then I think that would be fine. And then for A7, they've got a lot of damage already. They still need a mid and a mid and jungle. I wanted to just go damage overload comp, but if you do that, you expose your rel. I'm just trying to think, what do you play into Talia? Wei would be my normal answer, but you already played Wei, so that's not on the table. I don't like Azir. If anything, Talia, I prefer Talia into Azir than Azir into Talia. Yeah, okay, they're the ones spanning out the tank junglers. So you could still go Skarner here, I guess. Knowing Drake Hero though, he's more likely to pick Ivern. Actually, Ivern's not. Ivern might not be a bad shout for A7 here. Like Ivern Galio or something like that. The Galio doesn't do well into Talia. Oh, hey yo! We feeling spicy over here for Isrus. Snake or Lucian was not on my card. Was not on my bingo card.
A Nami funciona muito bem também.
That's wild.
Dá aquela lentidão com a onda, o equalizador fica
Not a ton of synergy with that, but given how this has been playing, I guess they're feeling really confident. They've got a 2-game lead. They can afford to take some risks, try some things out.
O que temos, né? O
Please
que
go,
temos
Key.
pra hoje. É isso, galera.
Nah, they're going Galio first. It would be funny. Kane's skilling's not bad either. Like, I wouldn't hate Kane, I just wouldn't understand why they do it. Nah, they went for the Galio like we expected. Oh, okay, yeah. Viego makes sense. That's a Drake hero special. Or not special, but it's a champion he's very comfortable on. Yeah, please just go Braum. No, Bard. Bard's the high risk, high reward side of it. But I'm gonna feel so bad for Zamudo. Oh my god, okay, they went high risk, high reward. Oh my goodness. It's just are feeling really good about themselves right now. Like that's what I'm seeing with the Bard pick.
Agora o draft das Urus é bom e eu acho o draft da Alpha 7 ruim.
Kane would have been funny. Actually, low-key, think I'd prefer to see Kane. Just as a viewer, I don't think it's a good pick. I just think it'd be much more fun to watch. Okay, that's actually like, so we've seen a lot of Bard Rumble where Bard's setting up for the Rumble with Tempered Fate into Equalizer. I just don't like it because you don't actually sit them in there while they're doing damage. But it's not technically a bad pick by any means. The comp's fine. There's a lot of damage, no tank. But the way Issu's been playing, they've been crushing it. I'll give it like a... I'll give it a 3. Slightly better than average. It's not the best synergies, but it's fine. It's a lot of meta picks. The A7 pick, okay, I like the Galio. I think that fits. But the comp itself is... This comp is just like everybody kind of do their own thing, and then you have RD Gap and Telas just trying to support everybody. I don't feel like they have the best wombos, but Rel Galio is a very strong combo that you can set up for needlework as well. It's not terrible. And then Viego is, again, when you have the weaker team, picking Viego is one of the ways you can try and coin flip a game. Introduce a bit more chaos variability, ways where you just kind of snowball and run away with it. I get it. I get it. I just think that you have losing lanes across the board. So I'll give it a 2.5. Playable, but disadvantaged. And low-key, even though the comp is 2.5, I actually, in my head, kind of feel like it's closer to a 2. Just because with the way the games have gone, Isrus has been closing out games really well. They did that yesterday actually really well too. When they get a lead, they close out. They're going to get a lead with this comp. They should get a lead with this comp. I think they have winning lanes like every single lane. Gwen loses to Rumble. Galio is supposed to be sort of the anti-mage tank, but against Talia specifically, it's really bad because if you try and do Justice Punch, when you do the wind-up, she just drops Minefield, and it's pretty much a guaranteed stun. She pokes you out with her Q and gets shoved with Q, and she just outranges you with her autos. So I don't really think that Galio should be picked into Talia very much. At least you can match the globals. I'll give you that. And then bot lane, Lucian is just oppressive. He's probably the premier early game AD carry right now. Rest in peace, Draven. So. Yeah, the other problem too is that the culling is going to absolutely mess up A7. I think one person's going to get through the culling well, and that's Chiari and the Shroud, the Mist. Besides Chiari, I don't think anybody's going to survive culling. Actually, why is it called Hallowed Mist?
Que o Snaker e o Ackerman consigam pressão na parte de baixo, mas o Israel meio que não se preocupa tanto com isso, né?
Hallowed is like holy, right? It's like divine, right? But Gwen's not particularly holy. Isn't she like a doll that just came to life? And Gwen is immune, yes. Dude, the trauma. The generational trauma from Gwen. Gwen being immune. I actually think she's in a pretty decent spot right now, to be fair. But Gwen is immune is so frustrating. Gwen's actually a really good pick into this comp in general. The amount of times I've seen Gwen just ignore entire Rumble ults, because that matchup isn't very common. Jared's got a hard carry this game.
De novo, né? Não pode tomar esse gank, mesmo sendo o Galio sendo mais resistente, né? Ele aguentando um pouco mais.
Mas morre,
O setup,
bobear, morre.
então, o setup do Rosadeodo, o que ele vai ter, o que ele vai dar, ó.
Okay, early gank.
Guerreiro vem fechando,
Acho
Akema
nada.
tá meio sem vida. A
Done?
jogada não vai salvar.
Nope, no stun. Nicely played from A7. Let's go.
E olha como a Alpha 7 muda
Is this the
a
first
estratégia
time
de
this
jogo,
series
eles
that they've managed to
mudam
get
o
the
padrão. Limpou a
clean
parte
first
de
gank?
baixo, toda o Drake Hero, aquela sentinela no azul,
Oh, there's no game
no
sounds.
vermelho,
Wow, that's
desculpa,
weird.
deu a informação de que o Rosadeodo
It's
ainda
the opposite
estava
of the
na parte de
mist.
cima.
The
E aí o
harrowing
Drake
or
Hero
whatever.
pôde jogar
The
dentro
harrowing? I think that's what they
do
call it the
terreno
mist.
inimigo, ainda roubando o azul
Okay.
do
Harrow,
Rosadeodo.
hallowed. Okay, I can kind of see
Então,
that.
a nossa
Interesting.
leitura, o nosso papo
So Gwen's a
sobre
good guy
anular o
then.
Rosadeodo
Is what
é o
like she's
foco do
supposed to
Alpha
be
7.
Pois é, e é um ritmo mais acelerado.
the opposite
né?
of
Vão
the
conseguindo. E o
Shadow
mais
Isles.
importante, vão
Actually, don't really know her
distribuindo
lore very well.
também nas mãos do Ezreal, que é um cara que...
I stopped following the
Ezreal,
lore
que é
when they
um cara que
retconned
é
most of it.
necessário nesse time da Alpha 7, começa a ter uma prioridade um pouco maior. Chiari tem que tomar cuidado agora, porque o José Deodo tá bem posicionado, mas vai recuar, não tem minion ali, né? Então, ele
Chiari's
começa a
spidey
recuar,
senses
e
are
o Drake
tingling.
Hero também tá
Spot
perto.
on.
Então, é isso que a gente quer ver. A gente precisa ver
Oh.
essa Alpha 7 acelerando.
Wait, Snaker Ackerman. Okay. Okay, A7. Okay, Skuro. Skuro, tell us popping off. This is the ball lane we know from CD. This is that oppressive ball lane. This is the lane winning 2v2 matchup. Skuro, tell
Que é o
us.
seguinte, eles têm que pressionar esse começo de jogo do Lucian, porque o Snaker não é...
Also, this is
Não
Snakerman's Lucian.
costuma
I was
jogar
not.
com campeões que precisam fazer um early game forte, que precisam
I have been very much not
bater de
impressed by.
frente, que precisam causar muito dano. O jogo
Snaker.
dele, a forma dele de jogar é esses campeões que ficam farmando, que não é tão responsável pelo começo de jogo da sua
Farming.
equipe. Então, quanto mais eles pressionarem o Snaker nesse ponto do jogo, melhor, porque vai desestabilizar esse time da Isurus.
E mais uma parada, o time da Isurus não escala tanto. A Thalia não é um monstro do scale, o Lucian e o Rumble também não são uma parada completamente fora da realidade. A equipe da Alpha 7 começando esse early game bem, já botando dois abates lá na bot
Is
lane.
that enough for
Eles têm
A7?
bom caminho aí nesse terceiro jogo da série para encaminhar.
Is their AD carry popping off the key here? I don't know. Depends on the mid lane. We're already seeing Kenny pull ahead. Two-wave advantage.
Ontem, né, a Isurus fez uma série muito
I think,
apertada contra o
for me, I'm still watching Jose Deodo and
Flamengo.
Kenny. I think they're the key part of this comp
Perderam
for
no jogo
Isurus.
3 e 4, né?
Exatamente.
Só se recuperaram lá na quinta partida. Mas
I kind of wrote off
essa
Snaker already, man.
esperança pro time da Alpha 7 para ver se consegue nesse jogo 3 virar um pouquinho a história desse confronto.
Sim, essas primeiras movimentações já botaram a Alpha 7 num ponto de jogo aí que eles não tiveram na série até aqui. Vai
Ooh.
ter exaustão em cima do Zamudo.
The exhaust for
como
Chiari.
ele tá
I didn't even
com
notice that.
O ímpeto gradual, ele sai muito rápido da jogada do Chiari
Like
ali,
it though.
gastou tudo e não vai conseguir nada.
Zamudo
Eu
has
acho que,
6.
assim, a Alpha 7 também
Chiari
precisa,
is half a level
aproveitar esse
behind.
early game mais agressivo que eles estão fazendo e não deixar
Chiari's using the
passar,
Hallow Mist so well
usando
too.
esse acelerador,
They're just playing right at the
agora
edge of
vai
it, so that Zamudo
garantir
couldn't actually trade
vai
without
garantir
stepping into the
abate,
Hallow Mist.
aproveita da pressão que o Ezreal tá conseguindo fazer na parte de baixo do mapa e usa a favor deles, porque a gente também viu que nos outros jogos
The other
não
thing
era só uma
about
questão de
Hallow
pressão,
Mist,
mas
I think that a
uma
lot of
questão de
people
que os
kind of forget,
objetivos
is
ficam nas mãos da
the
Isurus.
bonus resistances
Então,
she gets
vamos
while
ver
she's
se
in there.
essa rotação já estão puxando esse swap pra cá, é importante
Like,
pra
it's also one of the
auxiliar
reasons
o Zamudo
why
conseguir ter pressão pra essas
you'll
lanes.
see a lot of melee champions who can play inside the mist to fight her actually kind of just walk out and just stop trading with her in the mist. Like she's not only immune to outside the mist, but she's also just very resistant inside the mist. Early levels doesn't matter because it's bonus resistances, but later on when you see that like the 1v1s in the side lanes, yeah, Gwen's just
Como o Zamudo
annoying
tinha o teleporte, ele conseguiu se realocar pra parte
at
de
that
baixo
point.
numa boa, mas ponto positivo pro Chiari é que o Zamudo não empurrou tão rápido a onda de minions. Então o Chiari chegou a tempo de não deixar a onda sangrar pra torre, né? Tá aí, ó, ele interceptou ali mais ou menos no range do rio. O dragão foi até iniciado por ali, a equipe da Isurus meio que começa a botar as garrinhas de fora pra fazer aquele objetivo, mas tem muitos pings da equipe da Alpha 7 por lá.
Then swap something through. Dragon's actually being fought over. Okay, so this is where I guess we get to see if Kenny and Jose Deodo are going to be able to make up for the bot lane. No equalizer from Zamudo is critical as well. Again, Chiari playing at the edge of the Hello Mist to maximize damage reduction.
Vai fazendo uma boa movimentação o Alpha 7 aqui. Achei até que a equipe da Isurus iria conseguir levar uma melhor nessa troca, né? Mas também não tinha um equalizador ainda disponível, não tinha um saque enterrada do José de Odo. Então a Isurus não tinha tanta força.
The Dragon isn't done. That's actually kind of good for Isurus that they managed to stall that. It's unfortunate they lose Scuttle though, because that's vision control for A7. But they really want Zamuro to have equalizer when they actually start to fight for the objective. So
Sim, que era o que a gente estava cobrando, né? E a gente já vê que vai acontecendo. E de um outro lado, como esses abates no mid não são tão
Sneaker's actually caught up in
frequentes
CS too.
do Random Gap, a gente vê
He
que
was
o
down about a
nem
wave earlier.
apareceu por ali direito, né? Ele
I mean, it
vai
doesn't negate
tentando
the 600 gold from
fazer
kills,
com a
but
Vai, que é farmar, que é crescer, pra que ele
It's
seja um
fun.
dos carries também desse time. Mas já fico um pouco preocupada, porque todo aquele ritmo que a Alpha 7 teve...
I mean, it's fun for people playing Gwen, I guess.
Sabe?
Gwen is immune and
Então,
resistant.
assim, tem que tomar um pouco de cuidado com isso. Vai cair teleporte, vai ter briga aqui, Gruntar.
Did Jose? He smited. Okay. I'm actually a little bit surprised he smited there. I guess he just didn't want Drake Hero to steal it away. I thought his team would be able to like kind of create the space. Oh, Zamudo gets tagged. Okay, that's needle work done. He's not able to cook. Yeah, A7 get 2 out of 3 grubs. They get the objective, at least as far as the feats are concerned.
Todas as vezes que ele tá de vai, ele não consegue encaixar o jogo,
Uf.
não consegue funcionar. Pode ser impressão na minha cabeça, mas eu tenho quase certeza que o win rate dele com a vai...
Yeah, that's a tough choice. Like Zamudo on one hand probably wants to cook Kiari with the equalizer, but on the other hand, it's probably kind of holding for the drag.
É de 58,8%.
Ah, então,
Tough,
58
tough.
pontos. Ok, perto de
Gary has
50%,
TP as well.
então.
Você narrou
Mas é
um monte
alto.
de jogo que a Isurus estava
Yeah, this is
mal,
probably
e
A7's drag. I think
não
the
teve
Pode ser.
little things are stacked in their advantage. They've got the TP.
Vamos ver, ele não conseguiu,
Isurus don't.
claramente, não teve o mesmo impacto do jogo 1 e do 2. Então, assim,
Jose's
já é
been really quiet, actually, so far this game.
da Alpha
Woo.
7.
That ult from Skuro
É completamente diferente, né?
could actually have cancelled both backs. That
Essa
would have been huge.
partida, como
Canceling
eles
one's already pretty decent.
começaram até aqui, primeira vez na real que eles estão na frente de ouro.
Yeah,
chegando nesses
and
últimos
A7 are
19
also
pô.
Só tem que tomar cuidado com o Zamudo, que tá muito na frente do
rotating
Kiari,
faster.
do Kiari, e a mesma
Doesn't really
coisa,
matter in this
né, o
case.
Kenny
Sneaker got his
fez
part of the
o
recall off.
do Random Gap. Pelo menos o escuro tá devolvendo essa situação e aí ele tá
Yeah,
na
what
frente,
is
inclusive
Jose
pode
Deodo
pegar uma
doing?
barricada aqui no bot, será que dá tempo?
Is Zamudo just solo kills Kiari? Yeah, I mean, with early on, Rumble can do that to Gwen.
Vai fazendo essa...
That's why I was kind of saying, like, I think Isras actually have all 3 winning lanes, but
Primeiro dragão também
Guro
vai
managed to
fazer
upset the winning lane formula.
dois objetivos
He smashed the bot lane fast,
fazer
which is
pra
huge for them.
adquirir essas botinhas, né? Não só isso, como tem
Yeah,
dois
A7's
embates, então
making very good
então
use of that
vocês
winning
ficam
bot
mais
lane,
perto
because they rotate them
desse
up top, get grub, rotate them down
objetivo
bot,
que
get
eles
drag.
conseguiram até agora, que foram os sapatinhos.
É até engraçado, né? Com a composição que tá
This
mais
was just kinda letting that
difícil,
slide.
é o melhor jogo
Little bit
pra
scary,
eles, pelo
little
menos
bit
por
scary.
enquanto.
Pelo menos por enquanto vem sendo.
Aí, vamos ver como é que fica na sequência então, na volta. Zanudo de novo vai empurrar essa onda de minions pra
It's actually only 500 gold advantage for A7 at this point. The gap is actually closing. Isras' laning is just better, ever so slightly. Not significantly. Not to the point where I'd say like, oh, Isras wants to extend laning for the sake of just laning.
Depois que ele bota
What are
esse
all these
bem-
pings, bro?
bem mais tranquilo.
Drake Hero and Kiari really want to kill Zamudo.
E o escuro talvez tenha ficado muito tempo. Ele usa aí a movimentação.
Okay.
Random Gap veio com o ultimate,
They get the stun, they didn't get the stun on already gap. And the culling is seen by minutes. Oh, we are. They need to stop this back. No, they okay, they didn't.
Tem minion, vai conseguir
Ah,
sair.
tudo bem, tudo bem.
Zamudo lives topside though, which is kind of
Nesse
huge.
ano tá
So
50-50.
Tá 50-50, né? Beleza.
They lost TP's bot.
eu tinha
Okay,
a impressão
okay.
que eu tinha olhado isso na LTA e ele
Nobody
não
hit the
tava,
floor.
assim, tão bem
I'm sure they
assim.
replay the
Não tá
topside
tão
dive as
mal
well,
quanto eu
thirdly.
esperava. Mas não tá tão ruim também.
É isso, ó, o Kiari sobrou lá pelo topo.
Okay,
conseguiu
both
levar
teams
uma
responding well.
barricadinha, vai tentando acumular
This is the
recursos,
closest game I think we've had so far.
farm. Ah, beleza, deu tempo dele conseguir voltar. O Zamudo que vinha tentando chonar.
I don't know what it says that when Isras gets the lead, the games go fast.
Não
When
chega
A7
ali,
gets the
Escuro
lead,
de
it's
novo
kinda close.
batendo na torre, né? Dessa vez a barricada não veio, faltou um auto-ataquezinho, mas o escuro tá fazendo o que pode pra coletar o máximo de recursos possível.
Sim, ele tá muito bem, cara. Ele fechou a Triforce muito cedo na partida. O Lucian tá pra trás ainda, né? Nem tá perto desse primeiro item fechado ainda.
E é até interessante que a gente vê que o foco da Isurus muda também, né? Essa jogada toda que eles armaram pra cima do Ezreal é já identificando que tem um problema ali. E olha como o Telas tá muito mais solto, né? O Colossus tinha chamado a atenção
Jose
pra
still
isso.
0-0, man.
O
Even
Ezreal
that bot
considerando
side
dois abates,
play
mas
did
com
not
certeza
actually involve
ele
Jose
começa
Diota. He
uma-
was quite late to the
colocar
party.
algumas visões um pouco mais de defesa pro Chiari,
This is one of the
entender se
quieter
ele
performances
pode
we've seen
ou
from
não
him.
avançar.
I guess it makes sense that why
Alpha
Istros is
bem
like so
pequenininha no ouro, mas já é
feels
uma
like they're not
vantagem
getting anything
interessante,
critical.
pode ter luta por aqui.
If the engine's not running,
Vamos ficar ligado na movimentação da luta HT.
finger potato. That's a bold choice. That's a very bold choice.
Caio Chiari na jogada da Isurus,
Não
não acabou. O Ackerman tá por aqui. São 3
Telas,
jogadores
the
fechando
dodge.
pra cima do Telas, que vai cavalgando pra longe e saindo com sua vida.
A equipe da Isurus vai remediando tudo. O Foguete tinha falado, não, tem cobertura de visão, fica difícil do Rossadeo gankar. E aí ele, sendo o cara experiente,
Damn.
que vem pela
Just
lane.
like that, the lead
No
A7 was
meio
built
da
up has
lane
evaporated.
ali,
Between just
naquele-
straight
naquele
CS and that
caminho
gank,
não
it's just
tinha
gone.
sentinela, até tinha uma ali.
I'm
Tinha,
glad
mas
Jose is
ele
finally on the
tava
map.
de trás,
Or
né?
on the
Ele
board, pardon me.
entrou pela primeira bush, depois ele avançou pela segunda quando o Telas já tava subindo. E aí que ele faz a entrada. Ele é um cara que sabe muito bem como jogar essas coisas, mas aí também vem
Finger
o que
potato.
a gente sempre fala. A comunicação, pô, ele não tá na
I
parte de
don't
baixo do
know.
mapa, então ele vai estar pra cima.
Okay, I'm gonna delete your second comment because that's a little bit
Estamos falando desde o primeiro
it's
jogo,
family,
ele não
mostly
precisava
family friendly
fazer
channel.
os mecanismos, as
But-
rotas da Isurus funcionar.
You
E
see-
ele acabou de ver isso acontecer
Have you
com
considered
ele.
being a Pain fan? You just seem to enjoy Pain a lot.
Carinho de
Or hurting yourself a bit.
fazer um trekking do José Deodo um pouco melhor.
O problema é que tinha a falsa
A7 just kind of sat back after the early kills they got.
Eram 2 contra 2, só que a Gwen do Chiari
I mean, the
morreu
first
tão
blood came
rápido
from Drake Hero,
que
so
não
it's not
deu
like
pra fazer muita coisa.
I don't
Naquele
know.
momento, eu tava dando uma olhada,
Drake Hero needed to
tinha
keep pushing, I
uma
feel like.
avançada pro território da Isurus e não tinha não.
Não tinha.
Zé Deodo foi na
Sitting back is not
vantagem
beneficial for
pela
them.
lane, mas não tinha muito como traquear ele. E aí fica sendo essa situação que a gente tá comentando, né? Que a Alpha 7
Yeah, Zamudo's already
É,
started taking over
essa
this lane
coisa
again.
do 2v1, né?
He carried it well
Vamos
initially,
derrubar
but
o Rumble rápido, porque se ele entrar, a gente já derrubou
if anything, I think RD Gap's actually done a good job not letting the gold lead or the CS gap in the mid lane grow. He's kept it at just 2 waves for pretty much the entire game.
E ele precisava chegar com o flash, porque o Telas também foi maroto de ligar o ultimate logo. Se a Vai chega no range do ultimate, ele ia ser puxado e ia quebrar o Qzão.
E aí é que entra um pouco dessa dificuldade da Alpha 7 de acelerar.
Herald
o
in
jogo.
8,
Se o José
Dragon
Deodo gastou
15.
tudo, precisa ter uma cobrança em cima dele.
Legal.
Assim como ele jogava nos outros jogos.
Yeah, A7 already setting up
Então,
for
Gap gastou tudo,
Herald.
vamos de novo gankar,
Skuro
vamos de novo
used
gankar.
barrier?
Então, falta um pouco de
Was that a
acelerar
mistake?
esse jogo, quando a gente tá vendo que
That
gente,
is
eles
surprising.
começaram com uma pressão muito
Is
forte,
Isra
eles
still
começaram
not fighting for this?
agressivos, eles começaram colocando 2 abates
What are we
agressivos.
waiting for?
O Telas
Equalize is
começou a sair do
available.
mapa, e estamos vendo isso
I think they
porque
just
eles
were
estão
slow
ganhando
for
velocidade
rotation.
agora. Então, tem que
Like, they just got
acelerar um
caught
pouco
sleeping.
mais.
Assim, eles têm a...
Bruh.
O Snaker quer briga.
Olha a chegada do Deodo, pegou!
Okay.
Flecha ali,
That is so desync from Isras. Holy crap. And now you don't have equalizers for Dragon. What?
Gastou bastante coisa pra matar o escuro e não conseguiu.
Ponto positivo.
Let's
pra
see a
equipe
miracle
da
is
Alpha
that
7
I'm down for a finger potato. I want more games
Esse é o
today.
ponto
I
forte
have
da
time.
Isurus. Então a Alpha 7 aqui, eles têm que meio que segurar, não deixar a Isurus
Okay.
disparar tanto no ouro. Dragão vai
Yeah,
ser mais fácil,
Chiari,
mas Chiari
he's able to run this.
contra
He still got
esse
exhaust too.
contra
I think
o
Zamudo is
Zamudo,
pretty much
Ele
cooked.
não tem
mas ele tem
equalizador.
flash.
Já vai saindo. Se
Oh,
aposta
good
com o
flash from Zamudo.
Teve que gastar o feitiço. Não tomou esse último.
I'm actually a little bit surprised Chiari didn't just try and exhaust him and chase him down.
Foi feito e ficou na mão da Isurus.
Drag went over to Isras as well, by the way, which is, again, also surprising.
Eles que têm
I thought they just tried to brute force that, knowing that they didn't have key ultimates.
E a
But
Isurus conseguiu um dragão, já era
I
tarde
guess
demais, né?
Skrull took a bit
Agora
long
é
to get
ver
there, so
se
they
vai
backed
ser
off.
na torre ou se vai ser nos abates. Vai chegando,
Pode ser aqui, hein?
pode ser agora.
Pode ser aqui no abate. Se o Kenny cair, a guerrilha pro time da Alpha
Oh,
7.
Kenny lives.
Vai ficando
The turret down
bem.
we can go south.
Tá chegando, a galera da Alpha
Oh,
7.
Zamudo is
Tenta
zipping.
atrasar aí. Zamudo não vai ter o ultimate
Already got
ainda,
those.
ele vem queimando
No?
geral e botando
He's not paying the
a
iron
pra
price?
correr. Anda um gap no finalzinho.
Holy crap, already got out. This is
No
crazy.
limite, ele não derrete, tá vivo.
Are we all gambling the chance of the stream? No, we are not, Finger Potato, unfortunately. That's the LTA South stream. when we're on the LTA South stream, there's a lot more gambler.
Da Alpha
with points. I usually don't bother doing... Actually, I don't even know if I can. I don't know if, like, I'm not an affiliate, so, or partner or whatever Twitch thing is. This is the stream where we just go when we don't have producers. Or when we're watching CD. Yeah, Gamba, point Gamba. I try and do it on the LTA South stream when I'm not casting. The producers try and do it, but we forget sometimes. If I'm casting, I'm definitely not focused on doing that. Damn, 3 kills in 18 minutes, guys. Holy crap. This game. I mean, we have action, so I'm not really complaining about it. It's just... everything's fizzling out. Neither team has enough damage. You maxed out your load too for tonight. Let's get rich. Here's my tip. Never Gamba on the South. Like with actual money. Channel points is one thing, but actual money is just asking for trouble. We get wild stuff down here. If you want like a super risky one, go for the A7 Flamengo series. If we get that series, that one's gonna be crazy again. Both of these teams have such high variance. A7's low rolling today. They are really low rolling today. Tell us lives! We can't get it. Oh, there we go. Finally somebody dies. It's Screw of all people. Okay, is this the game-breaking moment? Is this where the tides turn? Is this where Isurus take over? 300 gold lead means nothing. This was not the game-breaking moment, guys. Hey, let's just get a turret. That's actually significant now. Oh, and they get 2 in rapid succession. It's fine for your potatoes. You can get a nut potato. Make up for your nuts with potatoes. They're not quite the same. One's protein, the other's carbs, but hey. Yeah, unfortunately, Skuro Ezreal is not it. He's not landing the Mystic shots well. And to be fair, it's kind of tough. Kenny was doing a really good job using the wall, the speed buff as well, from being near a wall. Just kind of dodge around. It's just 300 gold. It was, until the turrets went down. Asus has done this a couple times this series too, where they get multiple turrets in a row. Like when they take fast. It's a lot of like prep and then fast takes. So their gold suddenly just balloons out of nowhere. But this is the first time it really felt slow because they did that. It's just yeah. Yeah, I was getting tilted casting NECC last week. Like everything I said just didn't happen. I was casting cursing everything left and right. That's kind of funny actually. Like I stand by my statements because you know, like I have evidence and stats for what I'm saying, but it's just funny when I cast curse everything. That's why I kind of low-key love casting collegiate. No, Drake Hero! I didn't even see this happen! Was that off camera? That's super rough for Drake Hero. Holy crap. They got Herald and wasted it. Jeez. It's been a while since I've seen a CBLOL Herald. Not least because CBLOL didn't exist for a year, but... Okay, this is actually going to be the ISG moment. They're actually going to go up like a ton of gold now. Gwen is not immune. Oh! Yo, Drake Hero actually dodged Temper Fate, damn. 4v3? Oh, damn. 3v4 and they're doing work. Oh, never mind. Katie just doesn't miss. Like, his seismic shoves are too dangerous. Giving Katie to Leah is just risky unless you've got a hard counter. Galio was not the counter.
Mas não
3K, we're halfway there, we're halfway there.
força a equipe da Alpha
What are the
7,
chances A7 actually comes back from
falando
Borgeo? Okay,
sobre
real talk
jogo
for a second.
2,
Like,
jogo 3,
not memeing.
Surus
Um,
poderia dar apagão,
it's actually possible
mas o apagão tá
because
sendo na
they have
Alpha 7.
Viego. Gwen scales really well as well, and they have Viego. There is a world in which they get enough damage that Drake Hero can just pop off and reset, and also they're very squishy. So it's possible, but the odds are very poor. Not because of the comp, but just because it's just this series has been very clean. They don't give a lot of opportunities to come back. Like even that series of plays where they go from turret to turret, 1,200 gold, they blitz down Atakan with better vision. This was actually a really hard Atakan for A7 to try and stop because they have no vision control. So just with the way Issues are playing, I don't think they'll throw.
Acabou sendo muito melhor para Isurus e mais luta.
E já é uma luta com o time da Isurus pegando a posição.
Cullen
McMullen.
McMullen. There we go. Sorry, yeah, my should cut your name off. Weird, sorry, botched your name. Apologies. They're not. A7's actually a pretty good team. They're just a very high variance team. A lot of the CD teams that got, well, a lot of the CD teams in general have very high variance. Oh, can they get Snaker? See, this is why I'm saying like they have a chance to come back. See how low they all are? If Drake Hero could just get resets, like he could potentially just pop up in Penta. It's just that he can't. But the potential exists for A7 to come back. This is not like a impossible GG game yet. Should I put your left nut on ISG instead? Just out of curiosity, what would betting a nut get you if you win? Like, what would you bet it against? Because 2 left nuts just sounds rather uncomfortable. It's like 2 left feet. Isaac, you're watching the Cubs Padres game yesterday. I managed to Cossackers that, so the picture's gonna he literally hit the Matrix. It's intentional, offline. Here's how your casting ability, your cursing ability extends out of casting. Thankfully, mine is mostly just within League of Legends specifically. Outside of League, I don't really cast or curse stuff much. Doesn't mean you can be Ronaldo one game because you have the ability to kick a ball in a goal. I mean, yes and no. Like, it's not like A7 just waits for other teams to just drop dead. Like some games they actually do play very well. Like you can watch the Farmvent series. It's not like Farmvent just bent over and died. Like A7 actually played pretty well after the first game. And if you watch like the CD matches, A7 deserves to be second seed. They had some really good games. Damn, Snaker with the mid-game Lucian. Drake Hero. Can he get the resets? He can't. Drake Hero tried. Okay. Finger Potato, right now? Yeah, I'd say like you better prepare your $20 to buy yourself a new left nut because I don't, yeah, that is the GG moment, I think. Because Baron's up and they're about to take Baron. And once they get Baron, they're going to push in. There's a lot of, all 3 inner turrets are standing gold right now for Isurus. And the gold leads are just getting too far away, I think. We're almost at the 7k mark that you kind of called. Hey, Baron, welcome back. You made it back in time, so it's looking like a 3-0, but at least long enough for you to charge your headphones. This was actually a pretty good start for A7 as well. Like they managed to disrupt people. Kaney actually got knocked off and wasn't able to really get into the fight, but it kind of doesn't matter. That was a good ult from Ackerman. Ackerman again. Yeah. Ackerman is just Seos, man. I would love to see Ackerman with like a lane dominant AD carry. Like give me an IU, you know, like to give Ackerman. I think that'd be a fun ball line.
Quando pegou o quadra kill, o Snaker, ele soltou o emote do Jin de Chef's Kiss. É a cereja no bolo ainda, porque... Pra vocês que criticam o Jin. Não, é porque o Jin
I think this series MVP is... Actually, I don't remember. I need to go back and think about the games.
O Jin, onde quer que esteja, ele tá muito feliz nesse momento.
Like Ackerman had some good plays, but I feel like it was Jose Deodo Kenny. Well, Ackerman had a really good game 1 too. Nah, probably Jose Deodo Kenny is my MVP pick for today. 1 or 2 of them. I need to go back and double check.
Alpha 7
who
tem
I'd probably
uma
give
boa
it to.
sentinela
I'm
que dá
leaning
uma
towards
segurançazinha.
Jose a little bit, but
Telas.
Só não tá bom.
certified Telas moment right there.
O escudo
Actually, he turned around, so
segurou.
not quite.
Nossa, mas loucura fazer esse face check, tá?
This is the problem with
Tinha uma
Telas, man.
sentinela
When
ali,
he's
sabia que o cara
behind,
não tava no barão, né?
bro Loki
A
ins a little
parada é
bit.
que alguém tem que dar esse face check, né? E esse alguém
Ah,
é ele. O Spurgo vai saindo.
Not a great
barreira
out from
também,
Kenny there.
E a equipe da Alpha 7 já queimou 2 ultimates da
Pois
equipe
é.
de Surus.
Mas eu tô com o Gruntar, tá? Eles tinham visão no barão, não precisava avançar tanto ali também.
A Izuri gastou 2 boas
Então, that's
ferramentas.
just like you, for
né?
real, for real.
A Alpha 7 pode tentar uma jogada.
Oof.
Escuro ia ser
Quase.
puxado. Ele
Good
saiu
arcane shift.
ali na translocação arcana.
The buffer
O Chiari
spot
vai
on.
se movimentando. Drake Hero tá escondido na névoa. E por enquanto ele vai safando. Consegue um bom atordoamento.
Okay.
Manda no Deodo pra chegar na backline. Ele
Ah,
desce,
it's just got out of all the
Tira
AoE.
Isurus agora. Vai
They're just gonna
fechando
overwhelm
pra
them.
Reset
cima
do
da
Drake.
Alpha 7.
Morto.
I mean, at least they killed the jungler, so no smite.
Fazendo um churrasquinho de brasileiro.
Oh, but
Já
both
são
junglers are dead.
3 eliminações. Escuro
Kenny
vai
sees
de
the
um
honey
lado,
fruit
vai
and she's like,
de
nope.
outro. E a
Squirrel's still
galera
kinda scary.
dos tem
Yes, please.
dragão
Baron,
e
please.
varão pra
That is the right
trabalhar.
call.
E pode fazer o que quiser, ainda vai levar essa
They didn't take Baron last
bola,
fight already,
vai
and I
auxiliar
already
na
thought they could
rotação
then.
ali no portal, os
They just didn't take
Surus
that in.
vai passando,
So,
cara.
Isaac, the difference
A
is,
gente falou,
you
cara,
int for a
que
ward.
Surus estava num ponto
Telas
de
just
game
ints.
que não dava
Like, he just wanders around the
pra
jungle like he
deixar
owns
o
the damn
jogo
place.
desgarrar.
And when he's
E aí,
winning,
Surus
it looks
pisa
really
fundo
good.
no acelerador.
But when he's
E
losing,
aí,
it
a
low-key looks like
equipe
he's
da
inting.
Alpha 7
He doesn't even do it for the
conseguiu
ward
segurar,
sometimes.
não
He's just
conseguiu contestar.
walking.
E aí,
He's just chilling,
tá
taking a
nessa
stroll, you know?
situação muito complexa agora. De novo, um jogo extremamente favorável aos Surus, muito perto de garantir.
I think A7's falling to the Brazilian trap. They are trying to match.
Imagina, correto. Nessa luta que a gente vai até acompanhar o replay, olha quanto tempo ganha vai, né? O José tava do outro lado, ele
Yeah.
atravessa
The
todo
disengage from
mundo da Alpha
Isurus on that
7,
initial engage was
sai,
beautiful.
e aí ele volta.
Really,
E
really
quando
well
ele
done.
volta, já tinha gente da Alpha 7
They're just too far
morta,
ahead with their
né?
wallets right
Eles já
now.
tavam com um a menos,
And they're
já
all
tava
damage
todo
threats
mundo
too.
sem vida.
I think A7 should have just gone for Dragon.
Como a gente tava falando, o Snack
Instead of
tão
even
forte,
looking at the Baron at all. Like, you were
quando
never
ele
gonna make it the
essa
Baron in time.
visão,
They should have just looked at
onde
Dragon.
os
I guess they get it
oponentes
anyway, so it's
estão
fine.
ali na meiada, é tudo que ele quer, porque ele fica de longe batendo, garantindo
Like,
aí
if
a vaga.
A7 somehow miraculously come back, I'm assuming it's off
Então,
Infernal Soul and or
então,
Elder
eles já
Steel at this
começam a
point.
pressionar a rota do topo.
But that's a
Pro
miracle.
Alpha 7 eles pegaram esse dragão. Tudo bem que é só o
Jose's
segundo
been
dragão do jogo,
spot on
né,
with
e
his
eles vão ter
smites.
que segurar essa pressão de
Drake Hero's
barreira,
not had a
eles
lot of
vão
chance to
ficar
steal.
imprimindo, mas,
Or has not had a successful
do
steal.
jeito que
Sorry.
tá,
He's
né,
had some
qualquer coisinha
opportunities.
tá valendo.
São nas pequenas vitórias nesse
É.
momento mesmo, tá aí, ó.
Boa torre. Torre que o cara levou por ali. Lembrando que eles estão atrás, do outro lado
That's hurt.
caiu a torre. É.
No
That is
filetinho
so
ali pra
bait.
levar, pegaram. Ah, não
Não,
pegaram não.
Oh, Drake Hero
Flash.
using
Beleza,
the
o Drake Hero, na real, o Drake Hero
Heartbreaker
tentou usar o
again
ultimate
to
pra
dodge
salvar
out Temper
a jogada,
Fate.
ele não tinha o flash.
He's done that a couple
Aí
times this game
a
already.
deslocação do escuro salvou ele.
Pegaram o Zé Deodo, hein? Zé Deodo vai ganhando tempo. ele
Okay,
joga
they're gonna get
alto,
Jose.
Segura e segura muito. Vai voltar no anjo
But
guardião.
Jose has
Precisa
GA this time.
Vai tentar cobrar essa entrada. Já garantiu
Yeah,
o
that's
primeiro
rough.
ponto,
That was actually a
cima
really
do
good pick from
Sobrou
A7.
ali, é detonado.
Is this game?
E com esse abate, o time da
Without
Vitória
Chiari
vem
and
pra
Skuro, I don't
cima
think Drake Hero can get
pra
resets. This is
garantir
probably game.
mostrar
Okay.
sua superioridade.
Really fast.
Vencer
Damn.
esse
I
confronto
thought they're just pushing the
e
sides,
ficar
but
com a vaga na grande final na
they're looking to actually just
quarta-feira.
end.
A final que vai dar a vaga no CBLOL do ano que vem.
É, o último push, Grutar. Chegou mais uma onda de minions.
And
A
Isurus?
equipe da Alpha 7 vai se defendendo, mas o primeiro já
Telas
tá
just
no
melted.
chão.
Não tem o que fazer.
Drake Hero's dead.
Por ali. Drake Hero
Yep, that's game.
É um massacre de novo.
That's game. GG Isurus. They, after a really shaky first series against Flamengo, they a dominant series against A7. Incredibly dominant. This actually sets up for some really interesting matches coming up. Because this was expected. Isurus getting to the top end of the bracket was fully expected. Bigger potato. Rip. But now this is going to be an exciting match. And A7's now down here. A7 and if it's A7 versus Fernven, it's a rematch. If it's A7 versus Flamengo, it's the CD matchup. And both are kind of interesting. For me, A7 versus Flamengo is more interesting because they're so high variance, both these teams. A7 on their day beat Flamengo. But Flamengo is looking like they're playing some of the best league they have this year in this tournament. So, yeah, that's kind of wild. I would not be upset to see Flamengo run the lower bracket and rematch against ISG. Because they took ISG to 5 games, and the 5 games were actually really fun matches. But congrats to ISG for their win. They preserved their reputation and they guarantee themselves a spot in the grand finals. They have not yet qualified though. And that is worth noting, that they have not yet qualified.
Deu
Because, yeah.
baile nesse quesito.
Okay, talking MVPs. Let's look over this. Game 1, Loki Ackerman had some of the nicest moments, but I think Jose Deodo was huge. Game 2, it was the Kaney show. 100% the Kaney show. I think I MVP Kaney, actually. I think Kaney did well in all 3 games. He was the most consistent, and his pop-up game, dude, the Silas was just broken. Absolutely busted and broken. We'll double check when the damage stats come up. As per usual.
Eles começaram mais acelerando pouco mais, começaram conseguindo abates. Esse abate aqui que eles tentam no top e acaba já
Yeah, so while they're showing all the highlight reel moments, I actually don't feel like there were that many highlight reel moments. The early game was really slow, and then we really sped up come the mid game. When Isras managed to get any sort of advantage, they just completely snowballed the game out of control. Props to them, they know how to win games. And that's again why they're not even the weakest tier 1 team. This is such a unfair, or not unfair, but it's such a tough promo for the tier 2s. So the matches tomorrow, we've got the Flamengo Fernven. Sunday, we've got the winner of that versus A7. This match, the qualifier match, will be Wednesday, October 8th. I don't know why, but it's Wednesday. I will not be unfortunately able to co-stream this weekend. I have IRL work, which is gonna mess me up, so unfortunate. So I will not be able to stream these 2 games. I will watch them to figure out what happens, but not live. So sorry guys, no co-stream this weekend, unless one of the other LTA South folks pick it up. If they do, I'll post it, and they'll post it in the Discord, and I'll probably post it on Twitter. But yeah, as of right now, not that we know of. There is also the LTA North promo tournament, which is starting tomorrow as well. I believe it's starting tomorrow. And they're starting with Conviction versus Estro. So you're watching Isras here. The other half of the divorce is going to be playing tomorrow. So you might want to tune into that to watch as well after these games are done. It starts at 1 p.m. Pacific, which I think is like 5 p.m. Brazil time, I think. Can't do it, sadly. Understandable, Bryn. Yeah. I mean, it's a volunteer thing. We do what we can. Conviction versus Estro sounds well. Yeah. I don't know. I think it sounds really fun. The North promotion sounds fun as well. So that will happen this weekend as well. And they'll do Saturday. They're doing Saturday to Thursday, and then Sunday for their grand finals. Okay, Snaker actually did work. The problem is I feel like Snaker was better yesterday. So yeah, I think I'm sticking with Kaney. I think Kaney's my MVP vote. Let's see. Let's see what they go with. Okay. Samakin is not streaming today, unfortunately, so I can't raid Samakin. I'll probably just raid Rift Labs again. After this, the Riftbound tournament is still ongoing, so. Isaac, you're hoping for the funniest timeline where Conviction couldn't make it and Blue Water feels it. I don't think that's the funniest timeline. Like, I actually would have liked to see that. I like Blue Water. I've always been a fan of Blue Water. I used to play in their leagues before I was a caster, when I was not even a minion. I got an early start with Blue Water as well as one of the casters, so always loved them. Their teams are really fun. I like what the org is doing in the competitive scene. I think they're one of the orgs that are really trying to do stuff in the tier 2 space, so would have loved to see that as well. Unfortunately. They gave to Jose Deodo. Okay. I don't know. His game 3 with the Vi was actually kind of sus for me. I think that's a big reason why I didn't MVP Jose Deodo. His game 1 was absolute magic. And then game 2, the Trendo felt unnecessary. Like, it's not his fault. It was just that his team, like, the Trendo pick just didn't maximize anything. So he did get good ganks off, though, early with the Trendo game. So maybe that's it. That's fine. I'm okay with that. And with that, thanks all of y'all who showed up today. Appreciate it. Fun as always. Bren, Lunar, Orbital, Spoods, who both had to hop off. Isaac and Finger Potato. Appreciate y'all sticking around and actually chatting. And being here as well. And for those first timers like Colin McCullen just popped in. Appreciate you all being here. Again, I will not be streaming till Wednesday, the grand finals and the actual qualification match. So yeah, hope you all have stuff to entertain yourself over the weekend. Until Wednesday, I will be sending a raid. I should have done this sooner, but I forgot to. Yeah. Gonna throw the raid over. See y'all and have a good time. Peace, guys. Bye.
caminho aqui do nosso torneio de promoção. Lembrando que a LTAS passa